We should be live. Hopefully they can hear us. I think I'm in the right something. Let me know if we can be heard. Oh my goodness. I'm excited for, I'm actually excited to do because I'm like, all right, you can talk some sports, some more manga, gold genre. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Best
fact.
one.
Really good. How y'all doing though?
Doing fine.
You sound
Cool.
you sound better than me.
Been a long week, so
Yo, I feel that.
Oh no.
I'm free now.
so I'm on winter break, fam. Let's go.
That's what I'm
2 weeks.
saying. They freed me. But yeah, let's talk about the best
No.
basketball player in the world. Who's he? Oh no, I want to see what Johnny's gonna say. Well, yeah, Cypher sounds like a chain smoker at 16. Sagaraki Hanamichi. Yeah, I'm with that. I have no argument with that. He's out here. What's up? Definitely.
Okay.
We in here. I'm just gonna wait a little bit, see if anyone else joins us. I don't know. I think that's supposed to come. I don't know.
Vince coming?
Griever. Say it again.
Vince coming?
I just messaged him. I forgot he said he wanted to come or not, but he
Because
You know
Vince always
Vince.
be preaching to me about his sports.
be fucking. Don't let him lie to you. Shadow Badger. Anyway, all right, but I have two things that are not on the show notes that I'm gonna ask. One I think is gonna be an interesting question because I just thought about it randomly. But we here though. I mean, first thing I want to ask you guys off the bat is like, just in general, what are you from the sports anime you've watched or read? What are your favorite ones? And for anybody who's here, by the way, let it be known if a series comes up, you're liable to get spoiled in terms of like the manga. I don't know if everyone is caught all the way up to each series, but like if you hear Haikyuu come up and you only watch anime, be careful because someone might say something about the manga. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, favorite series, sports series for you guys. And actually, you know what? Before I even ask that, how did you guys even get into the sports manga or anime like genre? Like, what was your gateway into there? Like, what was your origin story?
I'm not gonna lie. I was back in the day. I was one of those niggas. Why would I watch sports anime when I can just watch regular sports? You know what I mean? I was one of those niggas. And then, my friend showed me like she just showed me like this basketball clip of Kuroko. I'm like, oh shit, they're kind of dope.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just like started watching like going on a binge of straight fucking like sports in that genre and then shit like that. It was great.
So you start with Kuroko.
Yeah, I started with Kuroko.
Basketball, just like a nigga. Hate to see it. I'm joking. What about you, Nelly?
Uh, I was almost in the same boat too. Like I've always liked sports. I'm just like, why would I, watch a sports anime? And my dormy friends, like they were watching anime before I was, so they really like Kuroko. They're like just some guys. So I peeped it, and then yeah, that's how I kind of got into it.
Pat?
All right, so everybody here, what is my fucking ad on Twitter?
Porsche Sports.
Porsche of fucking sports. If you can't figure out why it's called that, then you need help. But anyway, me being who I am a fervent lover of sports. I've always loved sports since fucking watching the Lakers destroy teams in the NBA from when I was a little child. So growing up, I also loved anime. And I used to watch a lot of, Battle Shonen, all that extra stuff. But I never really came across any sports anime or manga. And then one day, went to the library, went into my local library, went into the fucking manga section, and I saw Dunk Volume 1. I was like, oh shit, basketball manga. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, is it going to be corny? And I was like, because I'd never seen a sports manga or anime before. Spent the whole day in that library reading volumes 1, 3, 4, 5 of Slam Dunk. I was like, no, I need more of this. This shit is goat. So yeah, Slam Dunk was my first exposure. That's when I knew. Best subgenre of anime.
Oh shit. For me, it's my story is a little different because like the real gateway for me to getting into sports was Death Note. Death Note was one of the first things I ever got into where I'm like, you know what? I don't need hands to be thrown to enjoy what I'm into. Even though I did read a lot of rom coms from Rumiko Takahashi, but a lot of her series like Ranma one half, there's still action in it. Like still martial arts, romantic comedy and stuff like that. Same thing with Inuyasha or whatever. But and for me, if I'm laughing, I'll like when I'm into it. Doesn't matter as long as I'm having a good time, like laughing and shit. But yeah, so from there, I got into Prince of Tennis, and I didn't even know why I really started it, but I was just like, you know what, open mind. You know, Death Note was good. I'd read some romance at that point. I said, I'm gonna just try it, and Prince of Tennis stole my heart. I love that shit, bro. I
love
watched
Prince
it
of Tennis so much.
and I read it, and I thought it was great. The soundtrack for the Prince of Tennis goes so dubby. It's so good. I was like, do 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 do. I was like, yo, this shit fire. Like I used to get so hyped. I'm like, bro, I don't even like tennis. Like, I just watched.
Great video game music, bro. This shit is so fire. Oh my god.
Yeah, like I don't know. It was just so good. And then from there, I had got into like slam dunk. I had, and you know, all kinds of other sports. Like I've probably dabbled in a lot of them. From like even like Yao Mushi pedal. Like there's a time where I really liked that. Abu. The guy, what do you say? Frank Andy is you named his pecs. You just flex and you just pedal really fast. I'm like, this guy's like 8, bro. I got into it through Prince of Tennis, and Prince of Tennis is. I'll just segue to the next question. I'll just go first since I'm going right now. Like one of my favorite sports series, it would be Dino Ace. 100%. You see the boy. You see. I know you see Tetsuya Yuki, my captain, right there. I know you see him. Home run king. Well, that's Raichi Loki, but you know, still, he does what he has to do. Then it would be Prince of Tennis. 100%. I gotta stick with my roots. Now, new Prince of Tennis. Nah. Well, original Prince of Tennis go hard, even though it got crazy at the end.
Niggas destroying water towers and shit, bro. That shit had been done.
I don't know.
New Prince of Tennis.
I don't know what was going on. But and then probably Haikyuu. Something like that's probably my third favorite. The recent arc has been pretty good. Well, I don't know if you guys are caught up to it. Well, we might talk about it later, but yeah, those would be my top 3.
My top 3 would be. I just started Diamond Eyes like a couple weeks ago, so I'm getting caught up. But right now it's Slam Dunk, Haikyuu, and then let me think. It would be, I'd say Ippo. I really like Ippo.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. This might sound a little backwards and a little weird, but I never considered Ippo and like.
And like I did too because like.
It's
people
fighting.
Feel like that meathead.
Yeah.
Like,
but like one day I'm like, I'm dumb as hell. It's a sport. Boxing is still a sport though. Like so, I never considered those fighting ones to be like sports. But it's like, you idiot, it's still a sport. There's rules. You can't like just kick someone in the balls. Like there's rules. Like so, I've amended that statement. But there's a time where I considered it a battle manga. But yeah, go ahead. Where do we ever gonna go yet? Oh, Nelly, you go.
Oh, yeah, it's top 3, right? Yeah. So Slam Dunk. I just really love that. I'll put Haikyuu as 2. Love Haikyuu, and I guess I'll go Time No Ace. I still gotta finish the second, but I really. From what I watched, I'll say those are my.
And you, Pat?
All right, so for me, my anime and my manga is slightly different list because for anime, number 1 is Diamond No Ace. It's just, whoo, oh my god, it's the greatest sports anime ever, man. Oh, I love that shit. And number 2 is Ippo. And number 3, I probably have to give it to Haikyuu because Haikyuu is just it's just so well rounded. Like it covers everything that you would want in a series really well.
Hmm.
But if we're talking about manga, slam dunk, number one, easily. Then number two, I would say Diamond No Ace. I haven't caught up all the way with Diamond No Ace with the manga, but from what I
Wait,
read,
you're on
it's
Act
pretty
Two though,
good.
right?
I'm reading it like
Oh yeah, you're watching, but
simultaneously
you've
with
been watching. You've been watching.
yeah,
It. You're on Act Two. You've been watching. It. Yeah,
yeah,
my,
I'm
my
watching
bad.
yeah.
My fault.
And then number three is
Hmm.
fucking I 21. Oh my god, I
Ooh,
love that
I
shit.
heard of it. I've got to mention one else too. I really like one else.
Oof, that's an underrated one still. No one
Yeah.
really talks about ice like that. But
Shit is so
but you guys really like American football. I'm not really an American football guy, but I did like Ice Shield. It was cool. What's that noise? Is that me?
No,
nah, that's me. The fucking fire alarm is going off.
Oh, whatever. Finish what you're saying though.
like
So I'm like, don't worry about it.
I'm good.
Did that all three? Did you say three or was that two?
no, he said three. Yeah,
I'm tripping. All right, I'm waiting for the last one, because basically after we kind of talk about certain topics, I want to dive into just like series by series. We'll just go and talk about various series.
hmm
But actually, before the next question, I actually want to ask you guys this because I was thinking about this just now. Is your preference for your sports anime and manga to be grounded in reality or over the top, or do you go case by case?
I would say case by
typic.
case because I like the grounded reality ones because I can, I could kind of, I won't say predict, but I could see where the match is going without like something wild, like they start like having meteors come in and stuff like that. But I do like over the top is enjoyable. Like I'm not gonna say I can't like that joint don't be raw sometimes. So
Yeah.
case by case.
Honestly, for me, uh, I typically just watch like ground in reality. I mean, like some scenes, like for me, it's like mostly in sports anime. It's not like really about the sport. It's about like the characters in the team and shit like that.
Hmm.
But if it's like the sport is like enjoyable to me, I'll watch it. Like the shit's like Kuroko, New Prince of Tennis. They go way all over the top.
Maybe the first stop.
And so like I'll stay away like typically from those, but like I still like watch those because it's about like it's not really about the sport, but it's like it's about the team and everybody else mostly.
Mm.
That's what I look for.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, for me, I would have to say it's case by case because, like, Diano Ace is pretty realistic, and the realistic ones honestly teach you about the sport in a way that anybody can understand it, and that's why I like about Slam Dunk and Diamond Ace so much. Like, they're both very fundamental. They don't have things happen that really can't happen in real life, but at the same time, that over the top shit be hidden, man. Like when I'm
Yeah,
watching
dude.
Evo with the Dempsey roll coming, like nobody's doing this in real life. I know it's a real move, but like I'll be watching and just be like, bro, what is this? Or when I'm watching Kuroko and when Aomine and fucking Kisei, not Kisei, Kagami, they was in the zone. Oh my
Oh yeah,
god.
going crazy. I'm like, hold on now.
The zone two, bro. Look.
The anime made it look like insane because their hands was wigging out, just wiggling.
Yeah.
They're just dribbling.
Production IG, man. Fucking studio full of gods. Oh my god. I love when they handle sports anime, man. They kill it every time.
Uh,
But yeah, like it depends. So like with the reality ones, it's grounded in reality. It teaches you about the game, and then you have real life scenarios. Like there's even plays that happen in Domino Ace that actually happen in real life and in anime, and it
Yeah,
looks good.
that's so tough.
yeah. I I would say for me, I kind of I tend to like the ones that are grounded in reality. But like I said, you could always have fun with the over the top ones for sure. But I kind of like that mixture where it's like where they have like what I call like the animates, Jesus Christ, anime science fiction, where it's like you could hit like a top spin, but you hit the top spin with so much force that it rolled. Like obviously you can't really do that, but it's like okay, if theoretically if you could probably hit the ball that hard and make it like okay, I could live with that.
It would make sense.
Like it's clearly not realistic, but like I could live with that. So like Tezuka's Zone is actually insane. Like you can't do that. You can't do that, but that's like the level I'm willing to like accept for the most part. No. But then when you start breaking, hitting a tennis ball through solid metal and people are dying in the court, then you
dying.
Niggas were bleeding out on the court for.
You starting to lose me. But I'll never forget the first time Midorima just stopped on the inbound. And then he was right by his net, and he just shot a 3. I almost turned that shit off.
Bro. I was like, yeah, this dude, bro, like, come on.
This nigga was putting up from half court, perfect form. I was like, huh? And they introduced a lob jump shot, bro. That was dying.
Oh, the alley-oop 3. The alley-oop 3.
The alley-oop 3.
Yeah.
The craziest part for Kuroko no Basket, like, quickly off topic here, I used to come back from work. And I used to have food, and I used to watch this shit 2013 every single night, Kuroko no Basket on Saturdays. And I remember during fucking season 3, Kagumi's friend Tatsuya had a fucking phantom shot. Every time they thought they blocked that shit, it was going straight through their hands. I was like, okay, what the fuck is he doing?
Oh, yeah.
This man was shooting the ball twice.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tiger.
I was like, hell nah, bro.
Add to insult, he's putting in work against Kagami after he done face Ayome. I'm like, if you don't just block the shit out of this nigga right now and stop playing with me. I was so bad. Like full disclosure, I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to seriously, heavily debate and power scale Kuroko no Basket when that shit was coming out every week. Who's the best player? Obviously it's Kisei. I say like, yo, man, no, it's Takashi. I used to actually get into heated debates about this every fucking day on forums. Oh, those were dark times. Dark times indeed.
Bro, I was right there with you. I was like, bro, what y'all mean who's the best? It's Aomine. He's the only one that's a nigga over there. Of course he's the best.
Yo, when they went to America, that had me dying.
Oh my.
Wasting my time with that entire introduction for Jason Silva. He has the power and height of Murasaki Bar with the speed and quick. Like, he's black. That's all you had to say. That's all. You took the whole page to do all this. He's black. I know. Like, you don't have to do all that. But yeah, I know. I do generally like it in reality, but there's some I read that like literally like they're just going crazy, and I'm like, oh, it's fun for what it is. But all right, some of your favorite characters from any sports, anime, and manga series. We'll start with that first. Actually, wait, before that, do you have any sports, anime, and manga series you like really dislike, or you're not too fond of that you got into? I can start. I can start if you want. I kind of fell off on Yamushi Pedal. I was just tired of that ugly ass, big glasses, fucking nerd. I'm gonna just pedal and win. Like we just started winning for no reason. It just stopped making sense. It took me out of it. It just came a day I couldn't watch it no more. I couldn't do it. But I did like it. It was cool. A cycling one. There was Windbreaker. I think it's called the webtoon. It's been a while since I read that. That one's not bad, but. Definitely check out Windbreaker. Let me make sure it's actually called that. I didn't make that up, but yeah, Yamushi Pedal, I would say. I'm actually not a huge fan of Kuroko in hindsight, but it was fun. I don't hate it. But like
yeah.
I feel it. It's just a fun time. But honestly,
Windbreaker. By the way, definitely check that out. The webtoon, really good.
A show that I fell off of is kind of like weird because you know the show Free.
Oh, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, when someone recommended to me, I'm trying to watch all these sports anime. This nigga sent me a swimming anime. All right, I'll give it a chance. I gave volleyball a chance, and then they're not even girls. What is this? And then I watched it. I watched the first season. I all right, I can keep going. And then I just fell off from the second season. I don't know why. I just stopped watching. It bored me, honestly.
Funny story about Free. Yeah, Free definitely gets boring. I still watched like a good amount of it. I didn't even at all notice the like I guess like homosexual like undertone whatever was going on there at all until someone pointed it out to me, and then I couldn't not see it. I didn't care. I still finished it, but I was like, why'd y'all point it out to me? I was having a great time. I was having a great time. Not that it's a bad thing or anything. I just remember watching it. It's like, oh, that's what they're talking about. Like, they really be blushing. Like, oh, I didn't even notice they was blushing like that, bro. I just did it. But I like Free. I like the opening. That water be clean. My boy in there. He's swimming. Nice form. Shit, fire. But they don't have like any like real competitions. From what I remember, like it was just like kind of whack. But
They were
after a
just
while,
swimming.
yeah. But what about
For me, it was fucking major, man. Like
Ooh.
I don't dislike
Oh, really?
Major or anything.
Maybe? Or-
I don't hate it, but like Ahmed swore to me that this shit was the greatest
He dropped names, bro.
of all time. And I was like, okay, obviously I don't think it's gonna be better than Die or a Slam Dunk. Like I went into it thinking that, and then I was like, all right, I watched the first season, and it was so dramatic. Like I was like, am I watching a sports anime about baseball, or am I watching the life and times of Goro Shigeno centered around baseball? Like everything that happened in this man's life was just so dramatic, and I was just thinking, like, this is a soap opera. This isn't a sports anime. I watched all 6 seasons, and I came away feeling like, okay, it's like overall a solid 7 out of 10. But I am not going back to this. He was like, you got to watch the World Series. I was like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm good.
I had enough. He said he had enough. He got out of there.
Nah,
Oh,
much for
man.
me, man.
Yeah. Did everyone go?
Oh, I kind of had. I'll go 3. All right, so I was like searching through like random series, and then there was one called like Full Contact, and like
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, that
I've
was
heard of
just like it did literally nothing for me, like absolutely nothing. And I was just like, I just didn't expect a series to like be that bland. And I was just like, wow, like I really wasted my time. Like I was hurt. And then I'm a Corco, yeah, nah, it's like it could have been like I enjoyed myself at least, but like it could have been much better if they didn't just go kind of like the whole like let's win through teamwork when every basketball team uses teamwork to win. So I'm just that kind of threw me off a bit. But one was I think it's called Blue Lock. All right, Blue Lock pissed me off a lot because it's a soccer series and I'm like big on soccer, but like the dude like the premise was like they wanted to make like the best striker, so it's like so they took all their potential strikers and then they're like only one of y'all can make it, and if you lose then like you have to retire forever and never play the sport again. I'm just like, why y'all throwing all your prospects like away just to make like the number 1 guy? And then it's the end goal is to win a World Cup. And then the part that got me the most was someone in the stands was just like, how could making this one striker, like a lead striker or whatever, immediately make you win a World Cup? You know, like you're gonna need a bit more than just like having a good striker.
You might want a good keeper, some good defenders,
exactly.
midfielders. I'm just gonna throw that out there, but you know.
and then someone right after that asked, what will the parents say? And the dude answered only the second question. And I'm just like, what? Like everyone wants to know the first one. Like, how in the world would you having a good striker just immediately make you win? Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like deep into the series, it might be like raw, or whatever. Like the whole concept to it, I just can't take it seriously. Because striker-based teams don't like the past World Cups haven't been won by striker-based teams anyway. Yeah, I just wasn't messing with it at all. Yeah, those 3 are pretty much
Yeah, there's I feel like there's probably more I could think of that wasn't too major. I did not like it. I just couldn't. There's something just disinterested me from continuing. Kind of like you had enough, but I hit that point way earlier than you did. I was like, eh.
Bro, it's not even a series about baseball, bro. It's just the main character living his life and then playing baseball. Like, it's not
crazy.
the
People were saying that joint was like top tier fire. I was like, all right, I might peep one day, but
I think the second best baseball one I seen was 1 Outs. I like
Yeah,
that one a
one
lot.
out. I really like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. What's some of your favorite characters from sports, anime, and manga? Any at all? Does it really matter? You got to go through one series. Yeah. I'll start with the interesting one just because he actually kind of reminds me of me. Even though my favorite character in Kuroko is Ayomine, I Murasaki Bara was probably the most like me in high school in terms of his approach to sports. Like you get him mad, it's over. Don't piss him off, right? And other than that, he showed a general disinterest for the sport. Where he's like, oh, whatever, I'll practice when I practice. It's like but like he obviously when the push came to shove, he always wanted to win, and he obviously loved the sport because he went into the zone and everything. I was kind of like that in high school. So he always reminded me of me. He's pissed me off. I'm like, bro, see myself in this guy. You take a Yomine, him, and kind of blend him. I'm like, you just have me ape, just an ape in high school. Yeah, Todoroki Raichi. He's probably one of my favorites
Oh yeah, I
ever.
love you.
Him and
Let's go.
Tetsuya. I love from Dino. I love them. Raichi's intro to me was just amazing. I think Tetsu was the embodiment of a type of captain you'd want running your team. Not only because he leads by example and he works hard. He wasn't like crazy talented or anything. He's just a product of hard work, which always respect more than some like I was just born with this talent kind of person.
Yeah.
And Todoroki Raichi's like intro, I'll never forget because I think if I remember correctly, the first time we see Yakushi, he just beats the ball out the park. I'm like, bro, where'd the ball go? He just He's just laughing. I'm like, yo, this guy's kind of dangerous. Hold on. I'm like, I was in there already. I loved him ever since. It never changed.
That shit was so crazy because it's like you're watching it, and that was when Yakushi was playing Ichidai, and Sato's in the stands, and they're over here like, all right, y'all see Ichidai? That's the team that we probably gonna play next. Like they talking to Salamura and all the other first years, and then it was like, just think of our batters when you go and pitch against them. I was like, oh shit, they on the same level. Then next thing you know, you see this scrawny little kid with a big ass bat.
Yeah.
And then he goes into the batter's box.
I watched that a couple of days. I thought he killed that nigga, bro. I'm like, I seen that nigga go down like, oh fuck.
And if you watch it, yeah, like the way he hits it, like the sound it makes, it's almost like the two things I like about the anime a lot is like the fucking sound effect of Furia's pitch hitting Yugi's mitten. It's like I'm like, bro, it's like a meteor like hitting the ground. And
like,
then
you say that shit roars, it definitely roars, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. That shit's alive. And then when Raichi hits one other part, they're like cling and they look like poof. And I'm like, wait. I pulled it back like 3 times the first time I saw the anime. Like, hold on. It's just so clean, bro. Oh my god, I love that nigga. And then I'll say one of my favorite from Prince of Tennis. It used to be Akaya, but it's probably Fuji overall. But I like Otobi a lot as well. But yeah, off the top of my head. You guys go next. Nelly, you go next.
Okay. I know this film. It's been too long, but like the captain of Shohoku, like I really dig this character.
Akagi.
Yeah, Akagi. Like I not only like how like he was just like not only did he love the sport, and then like he was so patient with like the whole team, and it's just like having a captain like that. It was just great to see. And then of course like his sister, how much like she knows that like how much he cares for the team, how much he grinds. He be lifting weights in his room, like dreaming big. And I like how like even the colleges, like they know, even though like the team didn't have like the greatest record ever, but they knew that he puts in work. I really did like overall how he was handled. And then another one is Tokichi from Hunouts. Like that MC, bro, like son, he be making me. I mess with him heavy because not only
Bro, that man is a genius.
yeah, he a demon, bro. Like I remember one moment when they were like we're in the league, so like being in the league allows us to lose, and then he was like losing on purpose, knowing that like at the end of the day, like there was still a at the end of the day, it can get them the dub. So instead of some like corny ideology and stuff like that they have, he just keeps it real. I also like when that one scene when they asked him if like he was the reason why like the manager went broke. He was like, yeah, and then just kept him. Like he was with his shoddy too. Like I was like, bro, this guy's just the truth. And then the last one I say Takamura from Ippo. Like overall, I just
The
he's
goat.
You see him right there?
Boxing.
yeah like
If you ever see him in a
like-
fight with a grizzly bear, help the bear.
Because I bet you gonna need it.
His quotables, bro. I just love how much he respects and cares for his coach, and on top of that, trying to bring Ippo under his wing. He just says the rawest thing. Like he's a character that quote unquote always wins, but like he makes it look so raw. Like it doesn't get boring when he's on screen, and when he wins, it's not like oh he's winning again.
But I think he earns it. It's not like like
like,
BS, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely agree. I like how he doesn't half-ass his work. He wants to. I like how he cares himself too. Like he knows he up there. Like your champion need to go. Told everyone like they're just unlucky they're born in his timeline. I was like, all right, bro.
That's the kind of mentality you should have, especially as a champion. I feel like that's the kind of mentality that's gonna help you be the best. Because I'll say this one thing, like a little bit off topic that I don't like about. I had a conversation today too. That's what's a funny thing. I feel like I call it the Canadian mentality. I hate this shit. Bunch of losers, a lot of them. I remember one time I was watching. I think it was the Olympics in America, and it was just when you guys didn't win something, but you came second or third or whatever. It wasn't really celebrated. It was just stated matter of fact as like literal news. Oh, Pat came third in the 200-meter race. Us, we'll come sixth and celebrate the fact that we finished the race. What are you talking about? You suck. You came sixth. You're a loser. Go back and train. What are you talking about? Can't stand these niggas, bro.
He made it to the finish line.
Yeah, like, what are you saying? So I remember the first time I ever got second in 100 meters. The first time I ever lost a race, I threw my medal over the fence because I came second. I was pissed off, and they got mad at me like, "Oh, blah blah blah." I'm like, I lost. I don't care what you're saying to me. I lost.
Mentality.
Oh, you used to piss me off when people if you tied a game in soccer, at least you didn't lose. I slapped the fucking color off your skin right now. Don't ever say that shit to me.
At least you didn't.
But yeah, my bad. Go continue.
That's my 3 people. Yeah, that's my 3. Oh, that's good.
I can go if you want. All right.
Yeah.
So my favorite, like, I was gonna Haikyuu because Oikawa from Albert Joyce side.
Okay.
Yo, he is like one of my favorite antagonists. He was in my honorable mention when we did that stream. Like, I just like, cause he's just like not like he's just like chase. He sees like prodigies in Shiro Torizawa and Kageyama, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like he sees them coming up, but he's still like trying to run faster and like get ahead of them, so he doesn't like stop there. So like, his like pursuit of trying to like prevent them from not like reaching him and like taking over him is like a really good fucking storyline. Like his dynamic with fucking Kageyama is great too.
I love it.
I love him. And then I'll say something from Diamond Noise because I'm reacting. Leo, I love Chris so much. Chris Senpai, bro.
Chris Senpai goes hard. No, he goes hard.
He go hard, bro. That episode, like episode 4 or 5, when that nigga was training and like he was like in the studio, nigga, right? Nigga was like lifting the weight. He was injured. He let what's his name talk all that shit. Did he was just training like the whole Saruman talking all that shit. Did he was just working? He was working hard as shit. I love that guy. And then my third, let's see, I'll say Almine from fucking from Kuroko no Basket. He got so good. He got tired of playing basketball. Nigga said, "I don't want to play no more." And then my favorite
Yeah.
moment when he boxed that nigga after the game, bro. Like that nigga in the braids, bro. That nigga
Oh,
boxed that
was it
nigga out. Let's
Haizaki?
go.
That nigga with the braids. He used to be at one of the
Yeah,
racing because yeah, he knocked him out
he
in one
beat
hit.
the shit out, bro. I
The
love. Let's
smoke.
go. He was great. It was great.
1 second.
That was my.
So Kugan, real quick. About the manga stream and Gemini box thing, it didn't even slightly affect me. I didn't
Yeah.
even it didn't even phase me at all. That's why I didn't tweet about it. This ha- this happens all the time. This is the nature of the beast of scanlation. Do you know how many sites I used to really rely on that's gone down throughout my manga decades, like or even longer than that, from one manga. Like remember when one manga was the goat of goats with lit forums and that went down. And at one point, I think I was using like manga reader and shit like that. Then something else came. Like that's nature of the beast. Something will go and something will come up in its place. So trust me, someone will come and start doing the Shonen Jump stuff. Give it a couple of weeks. Don't even stress about it. It's not even worth it. So anybody was panicking and freaking out, I'm like, bro, this happens all the time. This is cyclical. So I didn't even bat an eye. I just went on with my day. But yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, I finished my 3. I gave my 3. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna list more than 3 because I like to cheat.
That's fine.
But
we know about you.
so first off, we're gonna start with Slam Dunk because
Hey.
my man Ryota
Rukawa.
Miyagi.
Rukawa.
Fukawa fan club.
Rukawa is a dog, but my man Ryota though. Oh my goodness, man. First of all, this nigga had a high top face, but it was a perm. So he was aggy with it. I was like, okay, who is this guy? See, the thing I love the most about Shohoku, right? Akagi is like the best center in Japan. And then Rukawa is like the best scorer in Japan. And then you got Sakuragi, who's like the quickest learner in Japan, and he's got like the best vertical. And Mitsui used to be MVP. But my man Ryota, he don't got none of this special talent. So what he do? He play his role as the point guard, work hard, play defense, don't commit no mistakes, and he always there to pick up the teammates when they feeling down or they struggling.
You need a teammate like that. You always need a teammate like that.
Yes, he does his
He's the
job
captain
so
too.
well.
That's not me. I'll cuss you. What the fuck are you doing? Give me the ball.
Go sit down, nigga.
Just love Slam Dunk that like made it like one of my favorite series ever was when Mitsui was going through his rebellious phase or whatever because he got injured and he was struggling finding himself in basketball, so he like gave up on it. And he was trying to make other people hate basketball, so they came into the gym and then it was like fighting. Everybody was beating each other up, and Ryota's like, "Yo, chill. Like, if we get in trouble, we're not gonna be able to play basketball, and Akagi's not gonna be able to get to the nationals." And then they like slapped him aside, and he's still trying to be pacifistic. And then Ayako, the girl that he really likes, she got slapped, and this nigga lost it. Like,
Yeah, like
he started throwing hands at the rest of the hoes. Like, yeah, beat his ass. I was reading his stuff. Like, let's go. But yeah, Ryota, that's my point guard, man.
I respect it.
Man, you're gonna stay with basketball, and he already been said by Aomine.
Let's go.
Oh,
Daiki. Nigga got Jordans.
he is Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Allen Iverson in
he
one.
bought
I
Jordans for
swear
5
to
cents.
God, bro. I have never in all my years, like I know this shit does not fall on the realism spectrum, but still, the shit that he was doing was ridiculous.
He actually
Formless
took.
shot, nigga.
No. When all three of them jumped and he was like, what is he doing? He's landing and he was behind the rim and he threw that bitch behind his head and it went in. I popped. I said, "What, nigga? Let's go." I'm like, bro, I like you watching a real basketball game. Why am I just amped? That's so amped.
I was watching this shit. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" This nigga just from behind the basket.
Oh, remember when he was going full speed and he stopped and you're like, bro, how did he deaccelerate all the way like that? And he did like the vertical shot, like he shot, but he bent his back to the point he was almost like horizontal
Bro,
to the
he was
floor.
parallel to the
Yeah.
ground.
I'm
I
like,
was
bro,
like,
he's different.
it was the greatest all fadeaways. Like, you not stop this. Like, I'm just watching. And the thing that like drew my attention towards him, like when Saren was playing Toll, he wasn't there for the first half. And Saren was up. They was up, bro. And he
He's
came.
a
And then
coon.
was
He
like,
came late.
this man came at the end of the first half. And he was like, bro, why y'all niggas losing? And he was like,
Y'all niggas losing?
I was done. Second half, the game turned into a blowout. Like, bro. Nah, man, this man is too cold. And
I'll say this
fucking
too.
Donovan.
Real
Go
quick,
ahead. Go ahead.
his I think his match against Kisei is a classic, like a modern
Oh,
classic.
absolutely.
When
Absolutely.
Kisei tries to copy him and he gets him into foul trouble and he gives him that look and he's like, oh no, nigga, what? Don't you ever disrespect me and look at me like that, like I'm not the shit. And yeah. Remember he did the move behind the back and he took the and one. I said, uh-oh. Like, yeah, yo, they got mad. They're going back and forth. I think was that the match? I don't know. I don't know that match. But there's one match where he has his hand against on his hip and he just throws the ball in underhand. Is that the match? Or was that against Sadian? But anyways.
No, that was against Darren the second time.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I'm just saying though, like that match to me, Kisei versus Ayomne and Winter Club, classic, modern classic, shit fire.
That shit was unbelievable.
On God.
And of course, gotta go Domino Ace, the other goat. So
Hey.
I love Yuki. That man is the captain. It's everything Naya said. He leads by example. He works hard. He's somebody that you can always depend on in the pinch. The moment I would never ever like they was playing Inashiro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go too far into details because Cypher, you still watching, right?
Yeah. I
Like
can mute
that-
if you want. I got you.
No, go, I'm not gonna spoil, but there was a moment in there where this man did the unthinkable in a close game, and I was like, "Oh my god!" like, and then pop, bro. Hey, that match, Sato versus Inashiro, that is the best sports anime match I have ever seen in my whole life. Nothing has topped it since. Nothing.
I might have like a 1A 1B, but I don't disagree with that. Like but we'll get to that later.
And still staying with Daya, I really love June. Like, oh my gosh, man, this man, he was doing his best to be like the enforcer of the team and to be like what Yuki was. But he knew he could never be like that man. But that didn't stop him from working as hard as he possibly
Nigga was
could.
loud as hell, but he was that's my vice captain.
Yup, he was almost as reliable of Yuki if we being real. Like every time this man stepped up to the batter's box, guaranteed hit every time. He might not have got the home runs, but he was launching that thing. I was like, damn.
Yep.
And there's more characters. Fuck. Hold on, let me think.
Yeah,
Fucking
I didn't mention Yu Nishinoya from fucking Haikyuu. He's my favorite. The
there we go.
That's my
That's
dude.
what I was gonna
Yeah.
Ishinoya, bro. I can't remember who they was playing, but I will never forget that one moment where the ball got spiked, and this nigga was thinking, "Am I gonna make it in time?" Because that ball was falling fat, and this nigga stuck his leg out and stopped
Oh,
that shit.
yeah. I
This
fucking
nigga
love.
was so fucking
He's golden.
That's my boy. Yeah, Nishinoya, he's the best libero in the world. That's my man.
He said respect.
But yeah, yo.
Yeah, I'm done.
There's so, and I want to talk about some characters you don't like, right? You can do one, you can do three, whatever. This topic is here solely so I can talk about Akashi. That's all. That's the only reason why it's here. I hate him. Can't stand him.
Bro.
He is not raw. He's not raw. I hate him,
I ain't gonna lie.
and he pissed me off. And Pat probably knows why, because I spoke about it in the group chat before. But I do not care who in the motherfucker you think you are. I don't care how good you are. You do not ever in your life, in my presence, purposely score on your own basket. I will fuck you up. I'll beat your ass. Okay? He scored on his own basket to relax his team and said, if we lose, I will gouge my eyes out and give him to you. And he was trash from that moment. Forever. Forever in my eyes. Forever. I couldn't believe he did that and said that shit to me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why did you give them a free basket? I'll hit you. Now, obviously, in that situation, because he has fucking Sharingan, I'll probably get tripped. But my point of the fact of the matter is, you're not doing that again. The weird thing. I don't care how good you are. You could legitimately be better than me, and if you do that, I'm fighting you. I don't care. I could be a bench player. I could be a bench player. Gioni, this happened in Kuroko no Basket. That shit pissed me off so much. And then he had a double personality, all this other nonsense. I just can't stand him. I just don't like him.
Yo, when
And
he
then the
nearly
movie That
stabbed,
One Buff.
when he nearly stabbed that nigga,
Yeah, with the
with
scissors.
the scissors, nigga, I like,
Yeah,
what's going
I'm
on,
like, bro,
bro?
this is high school basketball, bro. Like, when you have scissors
Nigga,
right now.
just
Like,
killing
When
niggas
I
outside
was
the game.
watching this,
Even worse, right? The thing that I can't stand about Akashi either is I think he's the only one with legitimate off the court powers. Like, say what you want to say about Ayomne, he's broken and like Midorima, whatever. All their abilities relate to basketball or sports. With Kisei in general, because Kisei he just has good like kinetic and corporal skills where he can see something and copy even better. So even with soccer and tennis, he can excel in any sport. This nigga Akashi have off the court powers where he gonna read your muscle tension and yada yada and like no. That shit is garbage. Get that shit out of here. Emperor Eye.
that match, it was pissing me off because all he was doing was the simple between the legs and niggas ankles.
Yeah.
Nigga was falling.
And he's
bro.
not even that and like in comparison to like those guys like the other generation of miracles, I think he's like 5'7", 5'8", something like that. I think the rest of them are 6 foot and above. I'm like, I will block this shit out of you, little nigga. Don't you fucking bring that shit in here. But yeah, can't. That's not like I said. The sole purpose of this topic is so I can trash talk Akashi. That's what I have to say. Fuck that nigga. Do what you gotta do.
I guess I go because like it relates to Kuroko. Matoko, I forget Hanamiya from the dirty team that went after fucking what's his name? That dirty
Tepe,
ass
right?
squad that was like Tepe, bro.
Oh,
Yo, that shit got me so mad, bro. Because
On Crown Kings.
niggas were like elbowing him every time he came down the lane. Niggas were like tripping that nigga, bro. That shit got me so
The
mad.
funniest is when the guy fell backwards and he tucked his elbow in and swung that shit back.
I
Like,
know, bro.
Bro, you get the
Ref,
fuck out of
bro,
here with that
help.
shit.
And then I saw everybody was getting mad. Kuroko actually got mad. This nigga showed some kind of emotion and shit. I just got me mad as shit. And then this is funny to me, bro. It actually got me heated, kind of.
time out, bro. If that nigga was pulling some shit that he was doing in the game on the court that I go to, the game would have been halted and we would have been fighting. I would have told him like, bro, I would have threw the basketball. I was like, square up right now because you pissed me off. You're not even trying to play basketball. Obviously, you want to fight because we're not playing anymore, bro.
Oh my goodness, bro. Yeah, that match was kind of hard to watch. That was a pretty good match, actually. I like that one. But yeah, they was cheating. And I don't mind like teams that are known for being rougher and tougher, but you're not about to swing elbows at me because I'm.
Yeah, bro.
You know what? No more Avery for me. No more Avery for me. Someone else talk. Someone else go. Before I relive some memories.
All right, so Naya already knows that I hate this nigga, but fucking Hawk. Brian Hawk pissed me off like more than most Battle Shonen antagonists that I have ever seen
Yeah.
in my whole entire life. Like Cypher was there when we was doing the antagonist stream, but
Mm.
this nigga Brian Hawk, bro, when this man slapped Coach Kamigawa, I
Oh
was
yeah,
on
yeah,
the phone with my whole episode. And when he slapped him, I stopped mid sentence and I was like, hey, hold on, bro. I'll call you back because this nigga just slapped the coach and I feel like I'm about to go fight him
yeah.
myself. So I ain't go right now. Because I was so mad. This man was doing everything in his power to piss Takamura off. And I was like, bro, I can't wait. I honestly cannot wait for this fight to start because I know he's just going to rip him a new one. And then when the fight started, he was beating Takamura's ass. And I was like, no, what is this? I was so mad. This man had no form. He was leaning all the way back. I was like, look at this boxing. It was making me so mad, bro. I was so tight.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can't stand that nigga. I still hate him to this day. I love the fact that he got the shit beat out of him. I hate that man so much.
Another one I wanted to say is Shiro Torizawa's coach, Washijo. Like my whole thing with him, this nigga was like he was basically Hinata, but he tried to make the like excuse for himself. Oh, this game is for like these big and tall niggas. When he he acknowledged himself that like he just didn't work hard enough, and like I hated him for that just because like you're just making excuses for yourself. You know, you could have made it if you worked hard enough. Like that was my
Nah,
whole thing
see,
with him.
the thing with
Yup.
him, like I get what you mean, but the thing with him is like Hinata, like if Hinata went to his school, Hinata's like in the team. It really was that simple.
Hmm.
But yeah, like he kind of was making excuses for himself, and Hinata wasn't. He wasn't like he loved and respected like tall and like strong players, but he still wanted to work to reach that level. But like when the coach had like the same mentorization for like those tall players, he just like kind of gave up, like you said. So
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of get what you mean, but
Mm.
like it's tough in the sports world, bro. Like the short leagues, like that is.
It's tough, but I get it. Yeah, I get your side, but I just didn't like he just gave up and just like, all right, I'm just gonna worship these tall ass niggas. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, you good, I'm good.
Everybody?
No, Nelly has to go.
Nelly?
Or did you go?
I don't really have too many. I do. I want to pick back on what Pat said about Brian Hogg. It's like, bro, that dude, like when he pulled up, the thing is, Tim made him black too. So it's like he pulled up like, oh, my jeans are so superior. Give me your Japanese women. Send me. I was like, dog, Japan. I don't. This is not how you see us, right? Like you need to stop playing. Like, son, he was so grimy, son. And especially his backstory, he was just picked up off like the slums from somewhere. Like, son, this dude, nothing wrong about him. Like, and the thing is, he got PTSD too. Like, bro, when I forgot what the American Eagle dude, like the one that was like the next guy
David
talking
Eagle.
more fought. Yeah, yeah. Like
Mhm.
he pulled up trying to ask for some tips. This dude just PTSD struck. Like Takamura, like don't say that name around me, bro. Like this man couldn't get back in the ring no more. So I was like, dog, no rawness, nothing about this. Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm see you.
One more I'll throw in there is isn't it, is it Sadie? I can't remember his first name, I think it is, but Yukimura from Prince of Tennis. For this reason alone, I don't like how he interfered with Tezuka and Sanada's head to head. I understand he's all about victory, yada yada, and he was easily the most BS thing that happened in POT that almost took that he completed the realism out of it. He's taking your senses? What are you talking about? You just play tennis? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Whoa! He's a child. Are you disrespecting the child of God?
Oh shit! Isn't that my
Gee.
boy Griever? What's going on?
I managed to get in the last time. I totally missed your your Twitter, Discord, whatever thing. I was away. So
Nah, man. I always tell people come in when you can for as long as you can. It doesn't matter. But how you doing, brother?
not bad, not bad. I just caught the last little end of. I don't even know what series you guys were talking about. We were talking about the basketball one, Kurokos or whatever.
We were, but I think I sent you the show notes, right? You have them, right, in your DMs or. If I didn't send it to you, I'll send it to you right now. So because I have a couple of topics, and then after we're done all of them, we're kind of just gonna talk about various series. But
Okay, yeah. I don't see anything in my Discord DMs. No.
I sent you on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter. Okay, I'll have to
check Twitter. Cause right now we're talking about some of our some like anime and manga sports characters that we don't like. But before that, just real quickly, give me like your 3 favorite. Actually, no. Before that, what's the first sports anime or manga you ever got into, and how did you get into it?
It was probably either. I'm trying to think. I'm sure I probably watched like a really old one that like nobody remembers or something. But from what I remember, it was either Suzuka, this by Seo Koji, and around the same time I got into Prince of Tennis.
Okay, Prince of Tennis. That's my shit.
Those were my first 2. I tried to read another one called. I was reading Ippo on and off, but I wasn't really into it. And so yeah, those would probably one of those was my first.
You told me about Suzuka and your One Punch Man stream. I think I got about 16 chapters in. I'm into it. I'm gonna finish it because now literally today I'm off until the 6th. So
yep,
I'm gonna get into it. But I was enjoying it. I'm on chapter 16. I'm fucking with it. It's basically it's a romance story that has like a track and field in it. So.
Yeah, it's pretty good as long as you're into the cliche. You know, you're gonna get your classic romance cliches with it and shit. But I mean, that's with every story. So yeah I like it.
Yeah. And quickly just drop me like 3 characters from any anime or sports manga you're very fond of. Some of your favorites.
I like Tezuka, or do I pronounce the T? I'm bad with that shit. From Prince of Tennis,
Captain.
I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the captain. He's a badass. I also like the Emperor Genjiro.
Sanada, that's my boy.
Sanada.
He's a grown man.
He's like 35. He's 35.
Yeah,
he's not 15.
Dude is not a high school. He is not a junior high school. But like fuck that. No, he is not. And third. Probably another Prince of Tennis. I love Prince of Tennis, man. So probably another Prince of Tennis character.
We love it. We love to see it.
Listen, we're gonna have a nice POT discussion later. Just now, don't worry. We're gonna get it.
Okay, yeah. But you can take any number of characters. I like Fuji. I like the Prince himself. I like Ryoma. I like fucking there's a lot. I like Neo, the one who's always copycatting everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his name. Yeah. There's a lot of characters in there I like.
I like Atsushi too because he's just a delinquent. But he has like the ideal body because of his flexibility and strength and everything. Because you see that thing where he likes to slide and he would almost like rise from the ground like he's like a ghost like haunting you, and then he was sick. I love him.
Yeah. He was awesome.
But yeah, throw me a character you don't like though from any sports series. Cause I said Akashi. I do a Yukimura, the child of God, demigod. But
yeah, Yukimura. A character I don't like in a sports manga. Once again, probably.
Yeah, go ahead. It just has to be like literally like, oh, you hate them, they're trash, they're poorly written or something like that. It can just be like, oh, like you hate them, love them kind of thing. Like, you know, the easiest example for me is always Akainu, because Akainu obviously because of what he did. I understand people don't like him, but I don't think most people think he's poorly written or handled. Just like he fucking killed Ace. So.
I'll give it to right now, just offhand. There might be someone I dislike more, but have you guys? I assume like the second season or whatever the fuck it's called, New Prince of Tennis. I've been reading that shit.
Yeah. That shit don't exist.
I said, okay, see,
That's your wrong.
Is that my boy, the harem detective?
yeah,
It don't exist, bro.
okay,
Don't talk about that.
because because most of the characters, I mean, there's a few I could probably pick out of Prince of Tennis, but in New Prince of Tennis, that fucking guy who leads the high schoolers in the Japan, Bushin, the pirate, no,
No.
or actually, most of the high schoolers, for the sole purpose that the whole point of the beginning of Prince of Tennis or the end of Prince of Tennis was basically like Samurai Ninja was like, okay, yeah, pinnacle of perfection. You reached it, you open the door, you beat a dude who's literally a child of God, and then all of a sudden you can still get beat by a dude who's not like bending reality. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Pinnacle perfection wins.
We go talk
if you
about
don't
it.
have
We
it.
go talk about it and roast it later. But Byoden said one thing he said that I thought was fire. He has one thing I thought was fire. Cause they said ever since you traveled around the world and you came back, you haven't been the same. And he basically I can't remember what he said verbatim, but he was like, here in Japan we're all about the honorable fair 1-on-1 battle. This and that.
Oh, what he says to Oni.
The rest of the world does not care about that shit. It's win by any means necessary. Fuck honor. I said, yo, I respect that.
Yeah, he did.
A
But
W.
I mean,
That's the only good line he has. Don't get me wrong. Only good line he has, but I respected that. That's all I'm saying.
I'll agree. It was a fire line. The problem is that basically we see almost all the other teams after that fact that he bitched about. They are all fighting with honor. The Greeks, the French, everybody was, all the captains, they were all fighting them with honor. So it's like your whole thing is bullshit, man. Like, yeah, they're striving to win, but nobody was like, you're not going to have a bunch of more of the June like actually hurting people and shit like that. Like, so I don't know. I don't buy his bullshit. He actually turned Duke to their side and like, nah. It was a fire line, I agree, but it's just like we haven't actually seen like this evil win or die tennis world that he was talking about.
He got scars on his back.
Bro, they were on a pirate ship playing tennis. I listen, man. When the man broke the ground with his tennis ball, I was already there. I was like, yeah, we out.
No. When Oni beat what's his name, Momo? Well, the slam dunk gun with he had two strings. He had the one string that goes vertically, and the one string that went horizontally, and he's doing the black jackknife. That
was ridiculous.
That should have been indicated to me that this was just not gonna.
Yeah, they didn't care no more. I'm like, this is because like Prince of Tennis, the regular one had some ridiculous stuff, but this was a new level. This was God of high school fused with Prince of Tennis. I'm like, bro, what are we doing, bro?
What I always took it as is they took the concept of because they pushed it and there are some abilities that like okay there's none of this like Prince of Tennis, right? Like it's a little too far. It's towing that line between superpower and like okay feat's not possible, but all right, whatever. They tried to explain it. Then they just went full blown fucking okay, we got superpowers in tennis.
Bro, a guy would get hit in the ribs, crack like 9 ribs, and the ref would be like 15 love. Like that guy is hurt. Like, please get him off of the court.
Yeah.
No, but the funny thing about that is like I always say when they were facing Fudomine, when Ryoma slightly cut his eyelid, the umpire did not want to let him play. But now they're playing and people are getting crucified and the one guy his attacks were all forms of suicide. So he hit the ball into the racket. So the guy's racket stabbed him in the stomach. It's like seppuku. And he like spit out blood. Ref umpire gonna go 15 love. He's dying. Stop the match. Cardiac arrest. Hit the ball in his heart. Hit heart? Bitch.
All right, he should be
I cried.
Never game again.
Nigga was bleeding out on the court. He went unconscious. He was still hitting the ball, bro. That shit had me dying. Nigga was still hitting the ball. He was unconscious.
But hold on. We go come back to this. You can come back to this. Trust me. But, Vince, real quickly, what was your origin story into getting into like sports, anime, and or manga? What's the first one you read? And how'd you get into them?
It was Hikari no Go in Barnes and Noble. I sat there and read like a decent amount of it, but I truly didn't get into it until I saw Prince of Tennis because I was just like, look at these middle schoolers just like ridiculous. First of all, like he said, they look like middle schoolers, and I ain't never seen in a sports anime people talk as much shit as they have in the Prince of Tennis. I'm like, how is the tennis team talking this much shit? Like, ain't this supposed to be like a classy sport? They didn't care. They talk so much shit to one another. It's ridiculous. So I just enjoyed it for that. I mean, Ryoma whole catchphrase is like fucking yeah. I'm like, bro, that's the most fucking unclassy thing this nigga can possibly say after he beat your
You
ass.
still have lost my to welcome.
Right.
Nobody beat me.
When he said it in English.
Yeah.
Mada Mada Dang.
Mada on it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. With
yeah,
tell me some of your favorite sports manga under anime characters real quick.
Okay, favorite.
Then we'll get to the next topic.
I actually do like most of the main character of most sports series that I watch. Which is pretty surprising for me, but I love Ryoma. If you know me, you know I love 1 ounce. That's my favorite one.
Hey, we talked about it a little bit.
Second. Yeah, so Tokichito is my favorite because he's overpowered, but he's not overpowered. So
Yeah.
it worked. And then I like Ippo, but I actually like Sendo the best. Sendo's my favorite in the entire manga.
Hey,
I love
Nani
Sendo.
was Tiger.
Yes, bro. It's nothing like Sendo. And Ippo came at him full for like that was the first time Ippo like actually came out the match just like swinging, and he hit him with the Dempsey roll immediately, and then he got back up. I was like, this nigga raw. He ate that. He ate every
He was
single
the first one to eat a Dempsey roll and get back up. And this nigga was like, oh shit, this nigga Makanouchi for real. Bro, from rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5, this nigga Ippo was so scared of him.
I can't blame him. You come out with your best technique, and not like Ippo punched soft either. Ippo hit hard. Like he gave that man a concussion, and he just got up. It didn't matter. He shook it off. He's like, I'm good. We just gonna keep going. I'm like, bro, how? He just really got back up. Like there should have been no way, but I'm like, that man just raw, and that's like. That has to be. It still might be my favorite fight. I don't know because all the Takamura fights are just so legendary, but just that might be. It's either one or two. Their second fight is great. I like Hinata from Haikyuu, and I like what's the setter's name? Kaguya.
Kaguya.
Wow, see, I was around the ballpark. I forgot, but I love him. I love both of them. I love Teppu, since that's a girl MMA.
I actually forgot to bring up Natsuo. I was supposed to bring her up, but the topic got passed. But go ahead, do it for me.
I love Natsuo because like it's just the reverse story of talent versus hard work, but from the talent standpoint, and how actually when people think you're talented, they think you don't work hard and they don't give you your proper respect, and everybody envious of you and all of that. It's just like because she has God-given ability that she don't work hard and try, and she did do most things pretty effortlessly. Let's not get it twisted, but she would she still had feelings and emotions, and it's just a very short, very good story. That's up there too. All of them, like 1 ounce and Prince of Tennis, I like in their anime versions a lot more. But Teppu is my favorite sports manga. Because the 1 ounce manga, that art ugly. Legit, it's some of the ugliest shit you will ever see. That shit's so ugly.
It leaves a lot to be desired. I don't know if it's ugly.
In Prince of Tennis, I just prefer it animated, even though it was ridiculous.
I mean, that brings up a good topic. That brings up 2 good topics I want to save. Like we'll hop into the main character thing in a second. Cause Pat, you want to talk about the main characters in sports anime manga.
Mm-hmm.
But your general preference, do you like to read sports manga or watch sports anime? Are you in the middle, case by case? Like, what's your general preference?
For me, case by case, because it's too hard. Because it's like Ippo, I loved it animated. I still like to read it, but reading it feels like such a drag sometimes. Where the animated didn't really feel like that, and I watched a shit ton of episodes.
Okay.
But like Teppu was easy to read. Haikyuu is not really hard to read. I like it both, so it's kind of case by case for me.
I'll just say for me, I generally like to read it more than I like to watch it. but there's certain things. This is like you can't like Princess Tennis original soundtrack. It just can't be beat.
Right. Yeah, right.
And me hearing all those various fanfares, when something good happens, I can't. I need that shit in my bloodstream, bro. It's too fire.
Right, and every time Ryoma starts to win his music, I'm like, yeah, no.
The crescendo, that shit is so fucking gas. Like,
right, but reading it does give just like some things like when I like one of my things I don't like about Ippo, even though I do like Ippo overall, one thing I don't like about Ippo is just that like as you progress through the story, how he still feels like it's weak. It's like, my guy, you won a belt. You're not weak. And sometimes I hate that in anime form, like them, like you have to look at him struggle through it. It's just like I just kind of rather just flip through that out. Like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to see him pretend like he's still weak. It's like, my guy, you are strong.
You're
let's
a champion.
Not do that. Let's not do this, man. You're one of the greatest. That's like you're one of the greatest fighters in Japan and in the world. Let's not play this like you still the guy who was getting bullied in episodes 1 through 20. Like, nah, let's not do this, man. So it's just certain stuff. It's just like, or just like when I watch like how over dramatic sometimes the anime makes things, and it's just like it's like this cringy. Like when you said, like I love Akashi, but I can understand why you don't like him sometimes. He's just like, my guy.
Don't really even. I already read it on it. I already read it.
But I didn't. But it wasn't even just him for me. Half of them kind of pissed me off because it just like Kagami just the ultimate dunk merchant. Like I honestly, I'm sorry for whoever watches this, but I don't like Kuroko no Basket. I mean, I love it for the animation part of it and how just ridiculous it is. But it really what did DeMarcus Cousins say? I like that. Y'all need to see what's going on here because it's getting ridiculous.
It's getting nigga was doing 360 behind the back.
Kagami is Blake Griffin. I can't bro. It's Blake Griffin and Ricky Rubio playing together on the same team. Come on, man.
For a while there, I was like, what other
damn championship? I ain't trying to hear that nonsense.
I was like, what other skill do you have besides jumping for like a little minute? I was like, nigga, what's happening? Like shoot a free throw, do something.
Coaches, ineffective. Nobody got no game plan to stop anything. Like Akashi went into the zone, put the people who were close to the General of Miracles in the zone.
Crown Kings,
and they lost. No. Bro, Kagami and them and Kuriko got together for a practice match against what's the blonde one's name?
Kisei,
and they beat him on their first try with no practice. Y'all are not finna tell me that's realistic. I ain't trying to hear it. No, they did not. With no practice whatsoever. Like, they lost one match. They lost to Ireland. Like, really? They lost to the one team that was literally a one-man band. All the other people had better teamwork and everything, and they lost to the one man who literally did it by himself. Like, come on, man. Nah. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fun. It really is. It's fun. It's ridiculous, and it's still basketball. And basketball, I think, might be honestly one of the best translated thing as far as like anime and manga form, because they usually seem to do pretty well. But nah, I'm not buying it, man.
I feel it. I totally feel it. All right. Weaver, what about you? Read, watch, case by case.
I think it's a bit of a case by case, honestly. In general, I read the manga for the sole purpose that I find, even though I used to be anime only, then I was manga only for a while, and now I'm a mix of both. I just find that in general, for everything I read and watch, it's just that it takes me so much longer to watch. You know, I'm a relatively busy guy. It takes me a lot longer to watch 2 episodes. I could read 20 chapters in that time. You know, so I feel like for me personally, it's simply a time restraint right now, where it's that I get the same satisfaction out of the anime for the most part as I do the manga if it's drawn well and done well. So in general, I like Prince of Tennis, for example, as you were saying, like the soundtrack, like yeah, that was really really good, and I enjoyed those hype moments. But I was hyped to see those moments because I had read them in the manga. So like even though it was really good, like I don't need to see the anime to re-experience Prince of Tennis. I could just read the manga and probably way faster than watching all those episodes, right? So I think it's more case by case, especially if the voice acting too, because that's a problem sometimes. You're like, oh man, I can't wait for this to be animated. Then the voice acting shit. It's like, okay, well, thanks for ruining my hype. Christmas didn't come early. So.
Oh, hold on. Hello?
Yeah.
Right.
Shit. What's happening?
Is he on the phone?
No, I stepped away for a second. My bad.
Oh, okay. I got lost.
Who's next? Who didn't go?
I'll go.
All right. You can.
So for me, I like reading sports manga. It's fun. It's nice to see like how an artist can depict a sport in stills. Like because sports is constant motion, and like for them to be able to have the paneling show one moment here, then have it transition into the next moment here, and then after that you see the end product. It's kind of fascinating to see how Manga do that. So I like it, but me personally being a fervent sports watcher, I need to watch that to fully enjoy the sports series. Like it just, I have to see things in motion. I can appreciate the artwork, and I do like it, but I just need to see people running, moving, screaming, getting excited. Like I need to feel the emotion when I watch sport. So I gotta prefer sports anime. Like for Diamond No Ace, for example, like we already said it, when Raichi, the first time he hit that home run and the wind blew open and the ball just flew past the stands. And yeah, the soundtrack, they were like dun 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 dun. I was like, oh my god.
His laugh, bro.
Yeah, bro. I just love it. Or that's another good one. Haikyuu. Like that moment when Tsukishima blocked Ushijima's spike and he got hype, and I was like, I stood up, I was like, let's fucking go! Like I was so excited, man, because he never even act like he even cared about volleyball, and in that one moment where he finally had a moment where he blocked somebody that was important in a crucial close game, and he got hype. Like that's what it's all about in sports, man. You go above and beyond everything that you practice for, and then you put it all together in a game, and then you just enjoy that moment. Like I just love that shit. But I will say, fucking slam dunk for all sports manga out there. That was the one sports manga where I absolutely did not need an anime for it when I was reading it, because I don't know what this man was on, but them pages was like crack. Especially the last game versus Sano. Oh my god! I was just reading this shit like, bro,
Cocaina.
one person draw this well. Like it got to the point where you could see this man had the basketball. You can see all the ridges on the basketball. This shit had Spalding on it. I was like, oh shit! Like
yeah, Spalding.
Like the sweat was glistening off their foreheads. It looked so realistic. I was like, this nigga is in another realm.
He really
like,
is a super talented artist, though.
Bro,
them panels crisp. They hit.
It was mind blowing. But yeah, for me, anime preferably, but manga is good too. You can't go wrong either way.
I feel it. They wouldn't go or no?
I'm with Pat. The same thing. I'm pretty. I like reading anime. It's just faster to consume. But typically for sports, I just like, all right, if there's an anime, I'll watch it, unless it's like if it's not like as good as the manga. So I'm typically like anime with sports.
I respect it. All right. So I find that this genre, I would say this maybe some slice of life romance and I guess maybe mecha. I find are like certain genres of people, even if they're super big anime and manga fans, it's hard to get into. And I feel like a lot of anime and manga fans are extremely against getting into sports series. What do you guys think the general turnoff is? I know earlier we spoke about the like, I watch real sports. Or about the, you know what I'm saying? But like, what do you, if that's what you think it is, you can go into that. But what do you think the general turnoff is?
Yo. This a lizard.
Look at this guy.
But crazy thing is, honestly, I used to kind of think that initially, like when I very start. But honestly, other than delinquent manga, I think it's the easiest genre to get into because there's no other genre that makes me feel like that has made me care about the amount of things. The only one that I could not get into was Free for obvious reasons. But every other one, but
I
every
spoke on
other
it.
one,
I spoke on it.
but every other one that I pick up, like I still haven't finished Run with the Wind, but I'm like, why would I care about cross country and stuff like that? And they just make you care because like I don't think any other genre has gotten me to feel more emotion. Like I was actually there, like I actually went through it with them than words. And I think people just got the misconception, like you said, like, oh, I watch real sports. Like, why do they say same thing with slice of life? Like, go outside. You like you. Like,
Or Pat, I already went to school.
Yeah, like so stupid. But yeah, I'm like, if you pick up the sport now, the thing is that I will say this with sports, you have to care about the character. If you don't care about the characters, the whole thing is meaningless. Mm-hmm. And that is one thing that has to resonate with you fairly quickly. I mean, probably within like the first like
5,
depending how long it is, 10 to 20 chapters. You have to begin to care about this character and their journey. But it uses the same things that in regular sports we care about underdogs. We care about people going from being one way and fear their grand transformation to being another way. How sports makes you better in all other aspects of your life. So it's just like I just don't think people just downplay it and they don't give it a fair chance. That's just all it is.
Mm-hmm.
The thing for me, like I like typically like I was like a meathead back in the day, Dragon Ball Z shit like that.
Please
Just watching all those like no cap, we in there. But anyway,
that's what I was talking about.
Like it's just like when I began like branching out into other forms of anime, I like why would I fucking do something like watch something when I can just do it right now? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I can go hoop right now. I can go pick up the ball right now. But like as you just need to like get one anime on the sports genre like and it hooks you and like you'll just like find a bunch of sports that like you don't even have to like the sport to get into the anime. I don't like volleyball. Like
that's
I barely play volleyball.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, like I don't like baseball either, but I'm liking the Domino Ace right now. I like the one out. Like it was great. Like you don't have to like the sport to like the anime. Like that's the crazy part for me, honestly.
Lizard, you just came. What do you think? What's your thoughts on this?
What was the question?
Why do you think people are basically against getting into sports or sports, anime, and or manga? Like, what do you think the general turnoff is?
Isn't it I mean, you know, it's like kind of the meme of the people saying, "Oh, well, you can watch." I mean, you can watch it in like, what's the point of watching sports anime when you can watch it in real life? I feel like some people actually like they actually take that seriously. Like they generally don't want to watch sports anime because they're like, there's no point. Because they're like, we could just watch it. They're like, oh, why should I watch just basketball? Why should I watch Slam Dunk when I could watch the NBA?
Alright, and real quickly, what was the first anime or manga you got into that was like a sports genre, like your origin story? How'd you get into it?
Probably Domino Ace.
Oh shit! Say a word.
The GOAT.
I respect it.
For real, that shit hit. The anime is amazing. But yeah, I just watched it one day. And, you know, the first 2 seasons.
And you were in
Dope.
there.
Exactly.
Love to see it.
I think a lot of people read Diamond No Ace when it was first, like, you know, back when it was first there, because it was just on. It was on with a lot of the other stuff. Right?
I was actually pretty late to it because when I got into it, it had at least 300 chapters. I feel.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I came in super late, fam. I just started right now.
Like I think when I came in, the anime only came out maybe 2 years after the fact. I can't remember exactly though, but I wasn't there from like early Dino Ace. There's a good amount of chapters out when I caught up. But did you go Reaver? Did anyone have anything to chime in about like why people are against getting into?
I'll talk about
Go ahead.
I think that it's basically what y'all were saying. That's just like sports is a big turnout because when people they see anime as kind of like, you know, that fantasy, you know, they want something kind of new, and then like just seeing sports, oh, I could just go outside, even though they never do anyway, but they still say, oh, I could just go outside and, you know, play sports.
Niggas not going outside.
And then yeah, but my thing is too is that most of the really good sports anime, I guess the sports themselves aren't appealing to some people. I mean, most anime fans, like, I guess anime fans and sports fans don't even mix as well.
They're nerds.
Even though they should. Yeah, it's like, they're like sports, you know, they don't even watch sports in real life anyway. But, like, you know, ping pong animation, you know, highly regarded anime, but no one's like, oh, ping pong, why would I watch ping pong? Haikyuu, highly regarded, why would I watch, you know, volleyball? You know, Diamond No Ace, oh, baseball, you know, that's boring, stuff like that. I guess the sports themselves, you know, they're like, oh, it's not as appealing. I guess they just want a bunch of basketball and football. Mm-hmm. Even then, I don't think, just want a bunch of basketball and football. And, but like Vince was saying, I think the sport genre is actually really good when it comes to just like bringing people into, you know, make you care for things you didn't think you care for. Because, like I said, I didn't watch Haikyuu because it was volleyball. I was like, there's no way. And here I am, you know, big stand. Same thing with Diamond No Ace too. I didn't think I'd like, you know, care about baseball rules and stuff like that. I'm actually not interested now.
I actually went to my first baseball game after getting the Dino Ace.
I think a lot of the time, I think everyone's pretty much said the reason, but I really think it hit the head on the nail there when they were saying nerds and sports fans don't generally mix, and I think that's where it comes from, because generally speaking, fans of anime and manga and the weird backwards Japanese comics, why are you reading that, you know, from like when I was growing up in high school and stuff, like or in junior high even, or before, that's part of it. Like, you couldn't be a jock and read weird backwards comics at the same time. It wasn't a good mesh, especially for people growing up in like junior high and high school. Now nobody cares. You like, I still got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I found a Legend of Blue Eyes pack at Walmart. I was like, fuck yeah, my childhood loves me. So, you know, so I mean, I bought that, got Guy of the Dragon Champion, really fucking happy. But point is that's part of the thing, is that when you're trying to mix two rather separate crowds, I guess, of people, and there is a small community of people, like I watch NFL and NHL, so I am a sports fan. But, you know, for me, it's, you know, there. But in general, yeah, I think it's part and parcel to do with just the fact that you have a group of people that aren't interested in sports, and you have a very small amount of them that actually play or are interested in the sports that still read manga and anime. So
I never thought about that. That's actually a good point. Like, you know, these nerds, they can't do a layup, so I feel it.
Yeah. That's it. These fucking nerds are. These fucking nerds are ruining our sports genre and manga.
That's the new quote from now on. If you post something and somebody's like, "Oh, I could just go outside and play basketball," you be like, "Do a video of you doing a layup."
Hit a layup, nigga.
You can't do a layup. You can't do something.
Does anybody else have anything to chime in on this, or know.
I'll put my two. That's a great point that Graver said because like I mean for me in school I played sports. I love sport, but I love anime and manga. But there wasn't really a lot of people like me around that like both. So I had two separate groups of friends: people that like sports, people that like anime. And I feel like one thing for like the anime fans, like I feel like they think the sports series will be like too cliche, cheesy, corny because like a lot of teamwork comes into play with sports.
Yeah.
You get the
And
same rhetoric.
friendship. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the same rhetoric across all sports anime. Like it's always gonna be a common theme. But I feel like they don't really understand that these series not only like do they not tweak the friendship trope in their own way, they also like have a fundamental understanding of how the sport works. And they're actually really, really, really good at teaching people about the sport while you're getting into it. Because I love football, basketball, soccer. But before I started watching Diamond Ace, I didn't watch baseball. I didn't give a fuck about baseball.
Oh
But
no.
now, World Series, I know
World Series
mean-
win there.
I mean, I'm not gonna front. I still don't, but yeah, I watch the playoffs now in the World Series.
And then like it's to a point where like me like as a person that's an avid fan of sports like NFL and NBA, I could watch like I Shield 21 and watch like Slam Dunk, Kuroko no Basket and be like, okay, that's a real concept that works. You can do that. That's a nice thing to do in this scenario. Like you start to appreciate the fact that the mangaka actually knows what he's doing, and I think that's like something people need to be on the lookout for when they're getting into a sports series. Like it really is the easiest subgenre to get into. Most of the characters are
really
good.
is.
It's so easy.
I kind of actually,
Right.
I think I agree with that, to be honest.
Yeah, because it just almost everybody agrees that the characters of a series is one of the top three most important things. And it's just like almost if you like the sports series, nobody has ever said, well, I like Kuroko no Basket, but I don't like any character in it. I just like them playing basketball. It's like no, that doesn't happen. You like
No one ever
a
said that.
team, even if they're the team that loses. You like T, you like Aomai, you like Kisei, you like one of those guys. And the more you see them, then you start to kind of like their teammates. You start picking favorites. Some people even power scale, even though those teams will never play. So it's just like there's a lot more. And then one of my favorite things, what they do is like for one outs, for example, or even some of the other stuff, it's like the stuff that they show you behind some of the sports, like the the psychological nature or just like the business side. I like that thing that's one outs because even though it's over dramatized, something like that may happen. Like when you tank, you're a tanking team. It's just like, well, we'll tank to a certain degree, but we still need to put asses in seats. So we got a star player. But you're wasting his career. He wants to win. Like where's the line between winning, putting asses in seats, and all that stuff like that. Like so, there's you get a lot more of it, and you actually, like Pat said, you can get a better understanding of the sport itself. Because a lot of people who don't watch sports, male or female, be like, "What's the point of this?" And they oversimplify. They're like, "You're just putting a ball in the hoop."
Oh yeah,
like that. and it's just like you don't know how to you don't know always how to explain it to them without getting upset because it's like no, you just completely oversimplified it, and it's just like it's not that simple. Yes, it's a game, but there's so much stuff. It's like football is a game of chess. There's like mental warfare. It's a business. I'm like the reason these guys and people are like, why are we paying? I used to be one of these people back when I was like young, but I was like 10 when I used to say some stupid shit like this. Why are we paying athletes millions of dollars and we only pay firefighters and policemen this amount? Listen, if you understand economics and economy, you understand why they get paid the way they do. And they're putting their bodies on the line for your entertainment. Like some of these guys will never be the same again. They lose functions of their arms, their legs. Some of them lose their mind.
And it didn't used to be like that, if you remember. It didn't used to be like that, if you remember. Sports, like back before we were born, athletes in hockey and basketball and stuff, they had actual jobs. Most of them were still lawyers.
That's what the joke. Yeah, that was the joke come from a bunch of plumbers and shit like that. In the off season, they had to get real jobs.
They had to get real jobs. Like now, and I always looked at it as: do I think some players, like in the NFL and in the MLB and all these sports franchises, are they overpaid for technically what they do? Maybe, but when you have a franchise that makes, let's say, $1 billion, who should that billion actually go to? I don't want it to go to the suits. I understand the suits are part of it, but why should it go to them when the ones, as you said, putting their bodies and their health and their everything on the line? Why should they be paid any less than anyone else who's making that money?
Right, so, do you want the owners to go? Everybody complains in this country about billionaire owners and stuff like that. Well, this is how you distribute the money for the people actually doing the work. It's like a company. It's like
NCAA.
A company too.
That's the whole thing.
I pretty much used to be like what you said, Vince, but it's like they make so much money, so of course like a bunch of money's coming back to their pockets because like everyone knows like the amount of attraction NBA finals and the Super Bowl, like the amount of people and revenue they generate, like of course they're gonna be making that much.
Right, but I understand it. It's just like most regular people, especially if you don't understand sports, you like why I ain't get that money for what I'm doing. It seems like what they do is easy, but it's really not. Like, have you ever actually tried to play like volleyball or tennis? Tennis requires a ridiculous amount of hand-eye coordination that I simply do not have. I don't have it.
I'm decent, but
to this day, I think it's the hardest sport I ever played in my life.
Right, because you're sliding across too. You have to keep track of the ball while running back and forth for hours.
Lateral.
And you're by yourself, and you have to guard this large.
My backhand is garbage.
Nah, see, I was never good at nothing. Like, I wasn't good at sports, period. Because one, I'm not that tall. And two, like, I don't have the greatest hand-eye coordination.
Aren't you 6'3"?
Oh, you want to talk about hand-eye coordination, man? I am the worst. That's the whole reason everyone always says to me, is like, wow, you can't catch. I said, if I could catch, I wouldn't be an electrician. I'd be in a major league sport.
Yeah, I'm good at that. And it's just like certain stuff is like football. It's like that's a lot of punishment. Like if I have a child, I'm telling them, I'm like, please play baseball. Just play baseball.
Here's my thing.
Be a pitcher.
Nope.
Get $400 million.
Not my kid. I'm saying play Fortnite. Are you crazy? Esports out. Get that Call of Duty money.
Hey man, listen. If they go play Fortnite, you better be the best Fortnite player in the world. You better be bringing home the racks. You better go to the tournament. I want my 10% cut.
Like, I was decent. Like I was decently good at sports. I was like 6'1" when I was in when I was like 15 or 14. And like I was but like the thing is like my body's hella fragile. Like I broke like several bones in my body. I can't stay healthy, so I just stopped playing sports a while ago. See,
that's what I'm saying though. It's like people don't realize how hard it is to do this at the hardest level. They think it's easy. I'm like, no. I'm like, imagine a 6'8", 250-pound man named LeBron James coming at you full force, 35 miles an hour, and he try to dunk on your head. And you think you have the fortitude to stand in front of that, put your body on the line, and take a charge? Nah. No.
And people also forget the appeal too, like the appeal of it, because you know how like it's safe to say that like the level of basketball we play today, most likely like the highest it's ever been, right? Like just because of how like a good incline, and then so like the top basketball, so like the top athletes of today are basically the best like athletic humans have ever been in human history, technically. Like so it's like,
and they spend millions of dollars on their bodies. It's like when you play sports too.
This chicken is slapping right now. Oh my goodness.
I mean, I get the argument. Like some of these like sports stars are overpaid. This nigga Draymond Green putting up 5 points, 4 rebounds, and like 6 assists, getting paid $150 million each game. I get it. I get the argument, but like it's kind of I'd say.
But I don't think. But it's like the business side too. I don't think people realize how much these guys, like you said, it's kind of splitting hairs at this point because there's an argument for both sides. But it's like these guys do pay money for things. Like the team don't pay for everything, and it's just like they're getting paid on a contract basis. Like they don't have benefits for the most part. Like some people do and stuff like that, but like if you get hurt and your career was over and you didn't save your money, oh well.
Yeah, the
you're shit out of
NFL,
luck.
the NFL be like that. No guaranteed
Yeah.
contracts. They be wild. Or sometimes I'll be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm like
damn.
you're shit out of luck. Like if you spent all your money on cars and shit like that, or you got cheated over by your financial advisor, your fault. You ain't got no money left.
Okay, well, what do you think the appeal is of the sports
Okay.
series?
Appeal?
Like, what's it like? What do you think the appeal? Like, why do you think certain people who are into it love it so much?
Oh, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Pick me.
So,
Pick me. I can play coach.
for me, right? One thing I always love about a sport series is the progression and the journey of the title character in said series or the team. And you see them working towards their overall goal. Like the best of the best sport series will show these players in practice doing
Putting in
everything
work.
that they can, busting their ass, doing whatever it takes to be the best at what they do. And then when they have the opportunity to showcase it into a game and they come out on top, it's like one of the best feelings. Like I don't want to keep using Domino Ace, but like I feel like it's
Go
the
ahead.
best.
No,
Oh yeah, I was about to.
it really is.
I was
one
about
of
to
the
use an
things. Like, go
example from
ahead.
that.
So,
Yeah, because when you watch it, right, like main character Samura, he left from his country bumpkin town to a school where they take like the best players all around in the country, and he came over there first episode.
Marv still had the tip,
Told
right?
the coach,
In Brawl.
huh?
Nelly, you got us confused. What's going on?
Oh no, my fault. I was talking to my brother.
Okay, keep going, Pat.
Yeah.
But in the first episode, this man was like, "I'm going to be the of this team, a team full of niggas that come across all over Japan to play." And he said he wants it more than anybody there. Like that was a bold statement. So for him to say
Yeah.
something like that, of course he gonna piss off everybody on the team because they're like, "Who the fuck you think you are? Like you don't think we want him?" But it was when I was watching it. This what really made me love him. He was the last person in practice every
Yeah, right.
day. Like this man,
tires.
the coach told him that he wasn't going to be pitching because you're a first year. Fuck out of here. You're not about to be pitching as soon as you come. But he was over there working, getting right, pushing himself every single day. He was so committed to getting better at his craft that he didn't even go to watch the team play. He was just focused on getting better. And the coach came and asked him, they was like, "Why haven't you been in none of our games?" And he told him straight up, he was like, "I don't want to see nobody else on the mound but me. So I'm just going to keep working until I'm the best at what I do." When I heard that, I was like, nah, this man right here is top one. He is one of the best characters I've ever seen. Like, that's what you talk about, working hard at your craft. That's what I love to see.
Another
And
scene
not
like
only...
like
Go, you can say.
when the coach like they're like getting ready for the spring tournament, the summer tournament, and this nigga the coach just came. They're like fielding and shit. The coach came out all dressed up in his gear and shit. That nigga said, I'm batting against this nigga. They were tired as this nigga hitting.
Practicing.
They
It
was
was the
hacking.
last day.
He was abusing them niggas, bro.
They was practicing until they could barely even move. I'm over here like, yes, this is what it's all about. Because I played football in high school, and let me tell you, man, them 2 days before the season starts, that shit is no joke. Like, by the by the time Thursday came, I didn't even think I was gonna be able to get out of bed. Like my whole body was on fire. Like that.
I did not work that hard. I had talent still. I leaned on my talent heavy.
That training regimen is for real, man. And not only is the hard work aspect one of the best things about it, it's when the team loses. That's what really gets me. When they lose.
Fact.
You see how hard they work, and you see how close. Because most of the time when they lose, it's never off no, oh, we never stood a chance. It's like they were right there.
Mhm.
They only needed one thing to go their way, and they didn't get it. And people try to kill me for saying this, but in terms of like playing sports at the highest level, whatever level that you're playing at, in order to win a championship, you need a fair amount of luck. You really do. You
100%.
For sure. For sure.
you need some things to go your way. Well, people be like, "Oh, they only won because they were lucky because this happened, that happened." I'll be like, "So, like, if you can't win, then you need an extra factor to come into play." And with these sports anime and sports manga, sometimes it's just the worst break happens at the worst possible time, and they end up losing. And you see the emotions afterwards, and then that just compels you to keep watching or reading, and you're just like, all right, next time he got it for sure.
Yeah,
That was just so. Next time he got this. So
and
that's
like
what I
you
love.
said, and like you said, they be right there. Like honestly, I've always said this. I'd much rather get blown out than lose in a close game. Like I'd rather not even get to a game seven. I'd rather not even get to a game seven or NBA finals. They'd be like, "Oh, well, you made it all the way NBA finals." No, I don't want to get there and then lose, and then have to remember that for the whole off season and for the rest. Like, cause and everybody's affected differently. Cause it's like for some people that makes you work even harder. And for some people, that just break you.
Yep.
And it's that part of sports is something that I've always loved. And I feel like anime does an amazing job portraying the mental altitude and the willpower that you like, just certain things like second wind, willpower, stuff like that. Like the stuff you need that people don't understand. Cause people just like that's why I hate analytics to a certain extent. Like it's helpful to a certain extent when you're trying to compare like long-term legacy, but it's just like if you didn't watch it or you didn't see it or you don't remember that season, you weren't there. You didn't see how they game. You didn't see the flow of the game. You didn't see a guy will his team back to a win, just chunking up shot after shot. It's like, yeah, it didn't look pretty, but he won. Winning matters.
One,
It's so important, and I hate that people act like that's not important. Well, I'm like, stop rewarding people for being second, third, fourth, fifth best.
Give
Like,
me
what's
the
wrong
guy
with y'all?
who's gonna take 33 shots, shoot 40%, and win me the game than the PER King who takes 18, drops like
Anthony
50,
Davis.
10, and whatever, and I lose. I don't care if I lose. I don't care.
Right, exactly. And then it's just like they don't factor in when he scored the points or when he should have scored those points. That's why people factor in stuff like clutch in the fourth quarter. It's like I don't care if you dropped 35 in the first half. Because their whole argument was like, oh well, if he didn't drop the 35 in the first half, they wouldn't have been. I don't want to hear all that. Did he win or did he lose? He lost, right? It don't matter.
We're living in
We could have lost without him. He could have got
Yeah, we could have lost without him. Oh
We could have did the
god.
same thing.
we are
I ain't trying to hear that.
where people are glorifying people for coming in second place. Because I keep telling people, everybody around me, second place is the first loser. You don't get nothing for
Yep.
being second place. Nobody remembers people that came in second place. People remember the winners. Usain Bolt won the gold medal, came in first place every single time he went to the Olympics. I can't even tell you who came in second place in none of those races.
Not at all. Yeah, not at all. Don't even remember none of those other dudes.
They don't matter. The only thing that people care about is who won. Stop trying to glorify losing. Work harder.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that because honestly, like there was that controversy. I forget who it was, but was it a couple years? Was it the last Olympics? I forget which one. Where Buddy basically threw his silver medal into the crowd. It was like, I don't want this because to him, and it was a controversial issue because he's being disrespectful. It's like, no, he's not. That is a constant reminder. Nobody hangs a silver medal. We're not playing kids anymore. Yeah, if your kid takes home they got a couple of bronze,
participant trophy. Let's go.
Yeah.
They take. Yeah, but even then, like my brother's got because he played hockey, he still plays hockey for years. So he's got some medals. He's got some MVP trophies. He's got some gold. But he, as you just said, now he's got some participation trophies, and he's got some silvers and bronze and stuff from not winning. That's different. Now, he probably wouldn't take the silver or whatever because it's just why would I want to hang a reminder that I lost? It's like I didn't win.
Like Vince said, if you come second Think about it. Out of all the losers, you were the best one. That's all it means. I don't
Yeah,
want
you're-
it.
you're
You
the
can
best one.
keep that, bro. Keep
Yeah.
that bitch ass silver. I want the
You're the
gold.
best loser.
Right, and then the worst thing is people get mad at people in the media. Like it's like, okay, so it's like, imagine you breaking up with your girlfriend, and right after you do that, you walk out the house. A whole bunch of people start walking up to you and be like, "How did that make you feel?" Yeah, it was just
How
like,
did he
you
make
think you could have did a better job? Like, get out of my face with all that. Like, move. Like, I'll jock you right here. Like, people don't understand. Just like, you just poured your heart out on it, especially if you care. If you care, you pour your heart out there. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who don't care. Some people who are losers and just be like, I'm here for the money. There are all
Or
sorts of
people
different
who like, oh, we
personalities.
lost 3-0, but did you see when I deked that one guy? Did you
Yeah,
deke? Did your
like,
deke win us the game? No,
yeah,
shut the fuck
exactly.
up.
I dropped
Like
35
not
though.
like Nye said, like Nye was like, I'm a sore loser. Like like I don't
I'm
want
the
to talk
worst.
to nobody in this locker
Don't
room
talk to me.
after we lose.
Don't say at least
Like-
you tied. I'm upset. Just don't talk to me.
Like, yeah, like, and I felt that too. I wasn't quite there, but I was pretty close. Like, I did martial arts. You think I was happy about losing? Like, nah, man. Like, I ain't want to even be there no more. Like,
Nah,
like we
it's
good.
tough with
Like, as soon
fighting
as I
sports,
lose,
right?
I want to go home. Like, for real.
It's tough
For
with
real.
fighting sports because you get your
Real
ass
talk.
beat and like it's tough, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you
You
ain't
get your
happy.
ass
Like,
beat.
you get knocked out. Somebody want to interview or something. Like what's wrong?
How did
Like,
you
what's
feel
wrong
about
with
getting
you?
knocked out?
What's wrong with you, dude?
Like
My brain just got
he
scrambled.
busted your lip. How do you feel about that? Like, hey man,
Yeah.
it's not the time. All right, hold on. So I feel like there's a lot of sports that hasn't been covered for manga anime, or at least not a good one.
Oh wait.
How many that
Can I
soccer
get
anime?
one more?
Hockey, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So another thing where I think the appeal of sports is, since like the basis of it is a competition, you're pretty much guaranteed to have like good opponents that the team goes against, because like no matter like how effective he wants to show like the MC's work and growth rate, he still needs someone to push him to that limit. So like almost every good sports anime have a overall great cast where like the people like the other teams he goes against is gonna be, they're almost just as hardworking. They have their own stories of how they got to like the top, and then it's good to see the two top tiers kind of go against each other, since they're both like hard workers, both have all those positive traits that everyone kind of like, and they're going to be
Yup.
one winner. So it's just great to see stuff like
And just to compound on that, for us, like most of the time when you're watching a sports series, these guys are like 15, 16 years old. They're all kids. And we're getting the first-hand account of this specific team. And the team that they're going up against, of course, we're rooting for them to get beat. We're like, yeah, go ahead and whoop them. But at the same time, like those other teams, they probably going through the same shit that the main team that we've been watching
Yeah.
going through.
Right. Haikyuu does a very good job with that, and Ace of No Diamond too. It's just like these guys worked hard.
Yeah,
to
they
get
worked
to this
really
position
hard.
too.
It's kind of hard to root against them sometimes, but it's like, these my day ones. I can't
Yeah,
them.
my day ones.
Every team goes through their own personal trials and tribulations. Even at the same thing as like maybe you squeeze by
Yeah.
every game. There could be internal
Yeah.
discord.
Yeah.
What happened?
You cut
Cut
off.
it out.
Yeah,
I'm saying
every team goes through
their own personal trials and tribulations.
Yes.
Yeah. Every team struggle might be different, and they're composed differently, and they excel at different things, so they have different struggles going throughout the season. And I think those series captured that perfectly, or really well at least. I love it.
Yep. For the next topic, you were talking about what sports they haven't covered, but real quick before we jump into that, I would like to say, because I've talked about this with Nelly, especially for basketball, the basketball ones, I still feel like there's some things they haven't quite tapped into. Maybe because they haven't seen it firsthand, or they just like don't have the perspective on it. But like when I think about like basketball, I feel like there's much more things in basketball, like team wise and stuff like that, they haven't touched on. Not from like a character perspective or stuff like, but it's just like how the teams are built. Like, pick and roll people, two shooters, a team full of 3-point shooter. Like there's stuff like that. I feel like, and I haven't read all the basketball. Like I still need to re-switch. and watching the whatever
Ducka in,
Zora anime.
Ducka in.
I hear no story. Yeah, if you, bro,
Yeah.
if you really want,
What about
like,
what about the duck one with the duck in?
huh? I was watching the latest episode. They're actually like doing boxing 1s and 2-3 zones and like maximizing
Okay.
the skills
Bet.
players that they have. So they're actually
So what? So you're saying it's
Yeah.
good? It's good.
it's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it.
That's cat.
Okay,
Yeah, I seen
bet.
that.
You say
He said that's cat.
I'm gonna watch. I only watched the first
That's
2
not a
episodes. I need to watch.
Yeah, I seen the first
That's
episode
Minish
where like
cap.
he was like,
that duck in was corny, but ever since they got a whole roster, it's looking nice.
That's Capsule Corporation.
But it's stuff like that. And I would also like to see a manga from like the coach's perspective.
Giant
like-
Killing
yeah,
kind of sort of
Yeah, Jack
has the
kinda does it,
manager.
but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's why I said I haven't touched on everything yet.
Yeah.
But it's just certain things I would like to see from different sports. I don't know what sport. Snowboarding maybe?
Whew. That's what that was. No, shut up. You want to take my pick? So I'll talk about snowboarding, the greatest, the coolest looking sport of all time, bro. Drip on the snow. What you mean? Like, that shit looks so clean. I'm an SSX guy. I love that shit.
I got another one there. Okay, go ahead. Finish your
I'm
few,
a S-
and I'll say the
I'm
other.
an SSX guy. I love those games. Tricky, SSX on tour, whatever. All those games. And I feel like, bro, if you could make a sick snowboarding manga, you could have races and you could have the like. I can't remember if it's called freestyle, or whatever, but that's the ones
Trick competitions
where
or something?
you specify on doing tricks, right? So you're going to half pipe, whatever you could trick. I'm like, bro, if you guys, if you could make that shit would be so fire. If you see the man
It
just
really would.
twirling in the air, just hitting that 720, bro. Oh my goodness, I always wanted to see that, and I think a hockey one would go dummy. If they make a really good hockey
It really
manga,
would. It really would.
Hockey, yeah, for
it was
sure.
the one shot by Akira Amano. I think it had potential, but just like a hockey manga that went dummy, I would be in there.
Haikyuu level shit, like Haikyuu Diamond levels
Piggyback
hockey
off
manga.
that, I'd say MTV or something like that, or what's it called? The stuff with the 4-wheelers and stuff like that.
ATV?
Motorbikes
Oh,
and shit.
ATV.
TV. I say MTV. ATV. Yeah. That should be fire. So ATV type stuff.
like stunts and like monster trucks and shit.
Yeah, because it'd be different from like from Initial D. Like that's pretty. But even then, Initial D is still like a lot more like slice of life aspects and stuff like that. Even though it is technically a sports, they kind of flaky with their intentions sometimes. They weird. So like I still like it. I still like Initial D quite a bit. But like he was just so different as a character. He didn't care. They were just throwing that man in races. They were like, go out there and race, and he was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then he cared about the girl. He was caring about that girl who was the sugar baby. I'm like, man, you need to be out here in this car. Worry about this damn romance right now.
I do want to say this real quick, right? One of those goes. There's a lot of football series or soccer series that I really like, or there's something about it that I like, but there hasn't been one that truly has hit on all cylinders for me. My favorite one is probably Area no Kishi, then maybe Giant Killing. I don't know how to think about it, but Area no Kishi had the cool premise with the brother giving up his heart for the younger brother, and and that guy was sick at soccer, and then that brother has his heart in him, and all kind of stuff. The premise was cool, and you go to his school, he's on the come up and everything. But it's just like there's not that one series that I read it where I'm like, this is the one, like this is the breakout soccer series that just goes dummy. Like all the ones that I'm like, they're good, they're okay, they're serviceable, but like the one, I haven't seen that yet. Still, I need that. Like a gold soccer series, but I haven't.
I feel that.
Yet.
Yeah,
I need like
I'm definitely.
for like sports. I'm trying to branch out like to get into different sports and shit. So if I could get like some shit like bowling or some shit like that, and, like you know what I mean,
Yo,
like different
I'm in
like aspects of sports, like Actually, I'll watch a fucking golf anime. I don't like golf, but I'll watch that if it's good.
Listen, I wanted that Robot X beam, laser beam to be.
Oh
good.
no! Don't talk about that. We don't talk about
It
that.
didn't hit, but like couple, I guess sort of off topic. Let it be known that when it comes to golf sports games, that's my favorite genre of sports games.
I like it
Give
on
me-
the Wii Sport.
Give me Mario Golf, Hot Shot Golf, Tiger Woods PGA Tour. Give me Pangya, the Korean one, the Korean anime one. That shit slap. I put hours and hours and hours in that game. Like, I'll play any golf game. So if you give me a sick golf anime or manga, I promise you I'm in there.
So it's the same mangaka that made Kuroko made Robot X Laser Beam.
Yeah, it's the same.
Damn, you just made me think of another idea. I would also kind of like sticking kind of with the idea of racing a little bit. If you ever seen like I don't know, like Wreck-It Ralph or some shit like that, if they did like some video game,
that was
some
fun.
shit like that would be pretty raw.
I don't know, like
with
if
like
it
items.
works.
I don't know.
But like
Pangya.
there's this thing at 2009 Red Line. It's not. It's like
Hey,
it's
Red Line's a good movie. Really good movie.
Red Line, bro. That shit a visual experience, man. That shit's beautiful.
Yeah, that shit
Visual
trippy, man.
crack.
Made me feel like I was on drugs.
Yeah,
Good movie.
visual crack. That's what they call it.
Man, anybody else a sports series or whatever you like to see that you?
I think I would like to see some like BMX racing or like, cause that shit's. Cause like I think it's like there's a lot of like good tricks you could do with that, and like it's really competitive. Or just like X Games in general, just like some like a bunch of those like skateboarding, BMX. I don't know what else you put in there.
So you can skateboard.
Yeah.
Yo, I can't
Oh,
skateboard.
no.
I'm pussy. I'm
No.
scared.
X Games.
I might.
I can barely skateboard though.
I'm scared to hurt myself, so I will hurt myself.
Right,
But I
say,
don't do
me
it.
too.
It's been a while though, so I can't even say if I could.
But,
Bro, I always
but
see these dudes
I
having to
shred
wear
them
knee
slopes though.
pads.
Oh God,
Nah.
I do.
I might be messing with some like over the top, like those Olympic archers, whereas like they having like different fields and like they're trying to hit the target from like I don't know the distance the Olympic people do it, but I know like that's like but like manga obviously make it over the top. And I'm like,
That's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
I think that could slap. Like someone's like arching from like
I feel like
to win, like to win going crazy.
His ability to read
Yeah.
to read the wind is unparalleled. The way he shoots the bow into the wind.
He's blind, but he can still score. He can still hit it.
right?
They do all some
Technique,
Akashi
like-
shit. You know when Akashi did the scissor thing to Kakami? That's how they gonna be with the arrow. He gonna shoot the arrow right at his head. He gonna be like, I knew you would die. He be like, what? He like, what? You crazy. Shooting live arrows at people.
Nigga grabs the arrow.
They probably would.
In approximately 26 seconds, the wind will change from 60 miles an hour to 8.
Going on the sports genre thing, I want to like see more like female like sports like teams like shit like fucking basketball and like volleyball like those type teams, but like it's girls like in it.
I read
You know what I mean?
read someone. They're all like, I'm low key. They just edgy. I don't lie to you.
Yeah.
I know. I want a real sports like with
There's
females,
that tall
like,
girls one. I can't remember what it's called. I love tall girls. It's volleyball, but
That's what it's called. I love tall girls.
Bro,
Oh,
hold on. I'm
There's a
gonna find
there's
it
a
for you.
series-
Find it for you. Hold on. I can't remember
There's
what
a
it's
series
called.
called
I was
Sports
gonna say
Girls,
the.
and it's literally just porn.
Yeah. That's the
I'm
manhwa
sorry.
one though, the Korean one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
disrespecting the females.
like
I'm
Seth,
gonna
you
need one.
wanna bowling at a manga? There's like this bowling one for female, but it's the most edgy shit ever.
Of course it is. Big boobs. Japan loves them.
Yeah. We're talking about her bowling balls, if you know what I mean. The sport, I'm going to be very fucking Canadian here and say hockey manga. Because I did read one, and it was
One shot?
okay. But
No, there's an actual manga for that.
Okay.
yeah, but what I don't understand is, like, I watched a show called The Mighty Ducks when I was a kid, that wonderful cartoon
Hey.
show, and that shit was fire. I actually ended up rewatching that along with the Godzilla animated series and went, my childhood was fucking awesome. So I don't understand how they couldn't like because one of the big aspects, I think that's part of the problem in the manga thing is that you have to choose your point, because I think Naya brought up Robot X Laser Beam. The problem with Robot X Laser Beam, it didn't know what it wanted to be. Do you want to be superpowers sports, or do you want to be realistic sports? You have to decide that from the beginning, from the concept. If you don't, and you try to do this mesh, it's not going to go over with fans well. So in the straight up, like, just don't follow the rules of hockey. Go balls to the wall. Like, do some crazy, the sky's the limit. Do some like devil fruits, One Piece meets hockey
fruit?
shit,
Bro,
and just
what?
go nuts. Just go fucking nuts.
By the way, wait. By the way, it's called Do You Like
Oh, yeah,
Big
Blue Lock?
Girls? Do you like big girls?
Oh,
Yes.
Volleyball
Definitely,
ecchi series. The one guy's that manager on his team where like all these girls are like 6 foot and taller, and he just be ganging them. I'm lost.
I feel he not wrong. He not wrong to do that. But yeah, I ain't trying to see that right now.
It hit, but it's not really
He
sports
said,
though.
hey.
Not the right reason. So
I don't blame him. If they on the volleyball team, you should definitely do
Death by Snoo
what you
Snoo,
gotta
I'm
do.
in there.
Snooze.
I'm in there.
But no, what's the one y'all be talking about, Nelly? The blue one? What's the blue soccer
Bro,
one?
I already
Blue Lock.
rented on Blue Lock, bro. Like, we
When
good.
everybody a striker, come build the team.
Son, don't, bro.
That's the funniest
They
thing I
said
ever heard.
midfield defense. Nah, we good, bro. Striker. I'm like, okay, 9 strikers. All right, y'all have fun.
Oh man, one of the funniest. I would actually kind of like to see a ridiculous manga like that. You just build a basketball team with no defense or something. It's like, nah, we're just trying to race y'all to 100.
Everybody plays like James Harden.
Yeah.
The whole team. The whole team.
God, no.
Whoever
Straight
gets the inbound takes the shot.
Niggas fighting for the inbound and shit.
No, nobody wants to inbound the ball because whoever's inbounding is not shooting.
Good.
They get in violations for not inbounding in like 5 seconds. All right, all right. Do you think there's too many baseball series?
Yes,
Yeah, definitely.
there only needs
Yeah.
to be
I can't blame
2.
him.
Ace of no diamond and 1 outs. That's all we need.
Here's the thing.
Don't need no
What about
otherwise.
Major, bro?
I mean,
He said what he said.
Major was-
You heard what you heard exactly what he said. He didn't stutter. He didn't stutter at all. Do you think the case why there's so many baseball series because it's like kind of the one sport that they have a lot of people kind of break into like like Major League
Yeah,
Baseball
absolutely.
and whatnot.
I would agree with that too, but it's like the lack of like, oh, you mean in general? Because I was about to bring up like soccer, like Japan's really into soccer as well.
Oh, yeah,
like
but
you said,
I kind of meant like
they're-
the more like Major League
Yeah.
American leagues, not necessarily like just like their
okay.
own like sports team. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So you're saying they break into baseball over here the most?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if that's true. I'm just speaking from what I've seen, so I could
I'm pretty sure-
statistically
I'm
be
pretty sure
wrong,
it's
but
I'm pretty sure it's fact because like you don't really. I mean, yeah, because the Chinese do basketball, so they're not
Yeah.
really in basketball either. And then
yeah,
and
but
then
that one guy, the
football,
rookie,
forget
the
about
rookie
it.
this year was his name Rui Hachimura. Kind of.
Oh, he's half. Yeah, he's half black,
Okay,
half
okay.
black.
They had Jeremy Lin for 2 weeks.
But he's
I feel
Chinese,
like
he's
for
right.
baseball, it's easier
Hey,
for
bro, they
them
in there.
in Japan to like showcase the sport because that's the international sport that they're most familiar with. Like Japanese people really love baseball and they understand the rules of baseball more than I think all the other major sports out there. So I guess that's probably why they all want to have their own hand at it. Is baseball and basketball the
Yeah.
biggest ones for them.
Yeah, slam dunk, like that shit was a revolution over there. For, like,
yeah.
basketball
He actually got the government to make more basketball courts, bro. Like,
Oh,
that's
God.
crazy.
but yeah, I agree. Like, I think baseball is easily the most popular. Like, like the baseball high school tournament. Like that shit's like over there. It's like probably the most popular like national high school tournament. There, like baseball is pretty much their like number one sport in that thing. So it makes sense that there's a lot of series from that because going around and that's the most popular thing over there. Of course, a lot of people would want to like draw manga for that. Like, yeah, like I think baseball is easily number one for them.
Have y'all read any Kendo series? Because I'm surprised that's not talked about more.
Yeah, like
Because that's meathead shit, man. We're
I
talking
can't.
about.
I can't think of
But
a
kendo
series that
but kendo is a
focused on
sport.
kendo. I can't think of one that focused on
That's
kendo. One
that's
of
what I'm
kendo
saying. Like,
moments,
cause
but I
kendo
can't think of one.
technically still a sport. It's a
It's
traditional.
a
It's a
sport,
martial
but
arts, but it's a sport too.
exactly.
But it's always
They
used
always
in
throw
all
it in
the
some.
other mangas.
They always use beat niggas' heads in.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. They just like fuck it. Just we gonna make samurai. What's the point of that?
Like
Why not
when
just
you say kendo, right? What is it always associated with? Delinquents. They always
Niggas.
pull up with a fucking bamboo sword with a bite.
that is
Exactly.
true. That is true. They
You always have your
doing that.
Pompadour.
Yeah, you always have your school.
Pompadour.
You always have your school life slice of life manga, or if you go back further, yeah, with the pompadour and shit. It's like I came from a long line of samurai dojo masters and shit like that, and they always have their fucking wooden sword and
Yeah, their grandfathers
They got
always
they
do
they got
yeah,
like
and
their
the grandfather's
yeah,
always
yeah,
pissed.
yeah.
That is not the why I taught you kendo.
He should have known better. He's like,
Yeah.
you know this man is gonna use that. You know he's gonna use it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's this question, the next one, I think we've already covered it in depth, to be honest. So I want to just open to talk about a couple of series, and then for like maybe like we'll go for like 45 minutes, and we'll call it every 3 hours, and we'll call it a stream.
Okay.
So I say everyone kind of gets to pick a series. We talk about it, and then for a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next one. So Cypher, you're first. Go ahead.
Hold on, let me find the anime. I wanted to talk about ping pong and animation
Okay.
because that animation style, like, it's always like art styles like really intrigue me how they can shape a series. Because like in the beginning, like I'll admit it, like Mob Psycho's like art style, like it turned me off a little bit. But as soon as I got into the story and everything, like that animation style, like coming from that, like ping pong animation, like it's really weird, but like it's a really different.
It's by
like, different.
Masaki Yusa, right? And he did Tatami Galaxy. So anything he's the director of, I'll peep it. That's really why I watched it. I actually haven't read the manga for it, but I did enjoy what I watched. It was a little weird at first. It took me a while to kind of get into, and I don't actually like ping pong in the slightest, but it was good.
Yeah,
It was
it
solid.
was
To
nice.
me,
It
it's
was
solid.
really
Like
good.
7.5 out of 10. 7.5 is what I gave it, I think.
Mm,
But yeah,
I like that.
have you guys watched it or no? Anyone else here watched it or no?
No,
I
I
I
still
watched
need
watched it,
to.
but
I still
I'm
need
planning
to.
to.
Okay. Maybe we won't go in depth to that one then if some people are planning to watch it. But like
hmm
I definitely recommend it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not too long either. It's like 11
It's like
episodes.
12 episodes, right?
Yeah.
Been a
Oh,
while.
just what?
I think it's 11,
Let me check.
but it's not too bad. All right, Griever, what about you?
It's 11. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to talk one because I'm pretty sure someone else will bring up Prince of Tennis. So I think I'll go into.
No, you're good. No, you're good, bro. Go ahead because
Go
I'm
at-
going
go-
for something completely different.
Go with your heart.
crazy.
Go with your heart.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're going Prince of Tennis.
All right, that's the right answer. That's what I wanted to hear.
I think that is my favorite
That's
sports
awesome.
manga. Actually, it's one of my favorite manga just in general for a good read. So, all right, so Prince of fucking Tennis. It does not have a second season, and whatever you really call it.
Absolutely.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. That's one of the things where I actually reread that this year. And one thing that I completely forgot is because we were talking about artwork before, and artwork is key for me. It's something that makes or breaks a manga for me. It's the most important factor. And looking back, I forgot how different, how improved, similar to Bleach and everything else, how an artist improves their artwork and the characters look much more polished.
100%.
They look better. So when I went back to chapter 1 and started rereading Prince of Tennis this year, I was like, what? This does not look very good.
His eyes
Like
were
in
bleeding.
comparison to what I'm used to. And then as you can see the progression and stuff, and as the matches get better, as we are introduced to way more schools and characters and stuff, the art starts to get a lot better. And yeah, it's a fantastic goddamn. Yeah, I thought it was just so great. Really did.
I brought up a little bit briefly earlier, but I said like I like that. I think Prince of Tennis finds a kind of right balance between, of course, some of the shit is kind of anime sci-fi logic. you hit the ball so hard with enough top spin that it doesn't even bounce. It just rolls when it hits the ground, shit like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a little ridiculous, but that's the kind of realm of like, supernatural that I'm willing to go into. So I like that balance there. At the end, it got a little crazy. Obviously, the New Tennis they just went crazy with it, but I found the balance was really good. I just thought that all of the matches had a good flow and sense of intensity. And what I liked about it too is every match to me was different. I feel like one thing some sports series like to do a little too much, is they like to make every match be a nail biter. And with pit tennis, you never know. Like Fuji will wash somebody 6-0, Tezuka will wash them 6-0.
Yeah.
And then Momo will have a close, 6-5 tiebreaker, 6-6 tiebreaker match. Like you never know the flow of the match and how it's gonna go. And I felt like even in double match with the golden pair and whatnot, so you never knew how every match was gonna go. And I felt like the fact that they kept that balance was always good. You never knew when an opponent was really gonna be dangerous to somebody.
I have to agree with that because you'd have matches where you would assume, okay, who are the fan favorites? Like the captain and the prince, they would have the nail biters because they're the big game, they're the numbers. And then you'd have
Fuji, Tezuka, and Echizen were the best for singles, pretty much.
Exactly, and you always assumed, okay, they're going to either wash or they're going to be nail biters. But you're right. There was a whole balance. Sometimes you had, them push to the limit. They were the nail biter, and all of a sudden, like, you have Momo and friggin' like Inu. They washed. They almost off-screen them, and it's like, wait a minute, what? You mean that? That's gonna work? What?
Because wasn't Tezuka's first hard match was against Toby, right?
Toby, yeah.
And Toby ended up beating him because he prolonged the match to make his elbow hurt. Yeah. That shit was fire.
That was fire. And then later on we find out because Sonata, good old fucking Sonata, definitely not a middle schooler, shows up and fucking just he goes like once he re-unlocks, he's like, you guys don't understand. When he lost to a Toby, he was handicapping himself. Yeah. This dude has the pinnacle of hard work. This dude beats me, and I beat everybody.
What's it called? Sawaki Kipatsu no Kiyomi.
You got it.
So when his elbow was fully healed, he could finally put it around his arm. So even though Toby beat him in an endurance match, technically wasn't at full power, and that's why to me the best, one of the most classic matches to me in the original series is the match in the national finals with Sanada versus Tezuka, because it's that rematch from their first year basically. Yep. And then it's basically another endurance match where it's like, will Sanada's lightning, his legs give out, or will the Tezuka Zone make his elbow give out? But that's why I got mad at Yukimura. Yukimura ruined it.
Yeah, Yukimura. I'm not the biggest fan of what happened there. I think it was a bit of a, we knew there was that third gate and stuff, and we knew it had to all come to a close with it and stuff. But I feel like they could have handled that better. They could have brought something up. Like they could have brought the whole concept of the yips is something that does happen in sports. So I like that they tried to include that in a way.
That was really good for him, his elbow, because he was healed, but he wouldn't like raise his shoulder a certain length because he was afraid of hurting himself. So he was losing to people or like struggling people he was way better than.
Yeah, his body, his mental fortitude was shattered. His body was against him at that point. And that's a real thing that happens in sports. So I thought that was really good. But then they went too far, as I said, with the concept, with the whole Yukimura thing. They basically said his power is to give his opponents the yips. And I'm like, that doesn't work well. That doesn't translate well. Because that was the thing. And then it's simply the prince overcame it. And that was the end. Ryoma, he just was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going pinnacle of perfection. I'm the son. I'm the prince.
Can I ask you guys a question? Did you guys generally have an issue with the fact that Ryoma has never lost an official on-screen match?
When I was watching it, it really didn't bother me because I knew he still lost a couple of times.
Okay.
Technically wait a minute. We did see Tezuka.
No, but I'm saying they went back in the flashback and showed that. But I'm talking about like anytime he has an official on-panel match, he always wins. He doesn't
That's
lose.
true.
I didn't really
For me-
notice it. I didn't really notice it until I got to like the end of the series, and by that time I didn't care because I was so invested in so many other matches. I love how they put different people together in doubles sometimes. It was just like there were just so many things going on that I really didn't have time to like.
When he unlocked
Realize it.
Muga no Kochi against Kaya, when they were playing that one match and he kept hitting him in his
Oh.
knee, that pissed me off.
Yeah.
He's like, and he just
Oh,
they just started doing. Everyone was like, "Nigga, what?" I was so upset.
Yeah, bro, some of those matches were really brutal. Like
Because
one of
Kyle is
favorite-
my guy. Because he's like, yo, I'm not even trying to score on you. I'm hitting the ball in your fucking nose, in your head top, bro. Like, why is he like this? Why he's so
Yeah.
violent?
Right. Yeah, it's like some of it's like some of those matches. I'm like, honestly, we wouldn't have been playing tennis no more. I would have directly walked over there. We would start
Fuji.
scrapping, 'cause
Oh,
that's
another. We might all like not really care for the ending match, but I mean the build up, like it never lost its thing. Like Fuji losing.
Oh
Who
yeah,
the
to the
fuck would've-
to the Bible
to the
tennis
Bible.
tennis guy. That was an amazing match because I didn't
So
think he'd ever lose.
Shira Ashi?
I can't remember his name
Oshi?
right now, but he had white hair. He was the captain, and he had the Bible tennis. He played like perfect tennis with no wasted
Yeah,
movements.
perfect tennis. Yep.
And that
But-
was a team with the other rookie from Kintaro. Kintaro, his name?
Taro, yeah.
He was the other like a super rookie from the West. I think are they remember from the East, or maybe it's vice versa. But they were both first years were a monster. Remember, he's like a physical specimen. He was flipping and duping and slipping and whooping like all over the
Super
court.
ultra
bro.
great delicious mountain smash.
Yeah. I like him. I liked him. They had their 1 point match and they tied because I think the ball got split and and half of the ball ended on both ends of the court.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
broke the ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was.
the-
Yeah, man, that shit gold, man.
Man, honestly, other than Ryoma, Kirihara was my favorite character. Even though he was a fucking jack.
That's what I'm talking
He was
about.
a
Akaya, that's my boy.
I know. Yeah. Okay, bad. Yeah, so he's my favorite.
Him and Fuji's match was sick, even though Fuji was blind and he still won. But
Yeah. It was, let me go over the top, but.
Well, for
I
me,
love
it really never bothered me that Ryoma didn't lose official match because that was another thing that I thought Prince does pretty well. Like there are certain players within sports, like when they play like exhibition matches or matches with no stakes, they're not the same player that you'll know them to be when the stakes are raised or it's an important match. It's a mentality thing for certain people. If you're playing where there's consequences to losing, some people play completely different, and they hit a different. And if they're playing like a practice match or they're playing like a nice little friendly, some people are just like, I don't care, I lost, but I ain't lose anything. I wasn't gonna gain anything from it either.
some people
And
play
I
to
feel
the
like
level of their
that's
competition
actually
too.
Yeah,
Say that too. He played all the better people, so you knew. I guess what did because you knew he wasn't the best.
Sorry, not to cut you off, Pat. But there's one thing that basically I use as a rationalization, but I didn't like it to this degree, even though they kind of did it well in the Nationals when he faced a guy with the Big Bang serve.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, the fat ass.
He loses to Echi and Najiro every single day, who was the greatest tennis player ever. The number one.
And they
number one player.
established that way
Right?
back when.
So
They
basically,
established
he's losing to like the pinnacle of tennis every single day of his life. So that's
Yeah,
why
he
he's as good as
grows
he is.
every day.
My issue's always been it's like as good as you are, you're fucking 12. If I have grown man 15-year-old strength, I will bully you. I'm a physical specimen, and he still wins. that was my only issue. But
I feel that.
like okay, he's better than me. But if I'm bigger, faster, and stronger, I'll hit the nigga. You are like you're not even 5 feet yet. Maybe like I don't even know. Like you better
Sometimes in
shut
sports
the
anime,
fuck
you
up.
get
To
Well, also because
See,
he was
but-
one of those characters that didn't need to he wasn't one of those characters like most characters that needed to grow. I mean, he had a wall, but he just like this really cool customer all the time. So he did need to grow, but it wasn't like, Evo or something like that where he just needed this wall during the thing to get bigger. His walls were outside the thing. So it was
But remember what Sonata said though, and I think Sonata had it best at the end of the series. Though he was mistaken, he basically said that the prince's growth was to a point of evolution. Like this generation of middle schoolers is like one of the greatest of all time. You are basically a sad product of coming against too many different people with too many different styles and too many techniques, and you've taken them all, and your growth has become exponential, but you're too young. You don't have the number of years under your belt to utilize it properly. When he was starting to falter against Yukimaru, he was like, you're a failed experiment pretty much to try to combine this generation of tennis. And I mean, he was wrong in the end, but I think that that's part of the thing is that it's true. His growth.
Tennis is fun. Super Saiyajin Ryoma.
Yeah.
Now, when he served
Hey, I still like Samurai Nanjiro coming in there being like, yo, bitches, I'm going to explain this shit.
No. When he served that ball and no one knew what happened, and he just walked away. And he's like, "Are you gonna call the point?" He's like, "I didn't see it." And he went on the replay and slowed it down to see how he scored. The service ace. He's like 50 love. I'm like, nigga.
You know what the good thing about that is? I really enjoyed that. Like you might call it like
no, I feel you. It was obviously like it was cause contrived and whatnot, but I had a good time, so I didn't care. And I didn't like Yukimura anyway, so I wanted to lose. I didn't care.
Well, that's what I was about to say, because the thing is that I didn't really care for him. Like all of a sudden, okay, yeah, we're dealing with like wind, fire, lightning, Tezuka zone, all that shit, right? But then we literally have fucking no senses. I'm taking away all your senses. Now fight me, bitch. It's like, oh, come on. This is getting ridiculous. So when he pulls his own ass pull, but his was foreshadowed for a long time in the series, and he reaches the pinnacle at the end of the series, I'm like, you know what? Pinnacle of perfection. I buy that more than some random tennis player just happening to install the yips in people and take away their senses. I'm like, that's fine.
The thing like what the Furikazan right is that even though it they draw it like lightning, he's not actually doing that, right? It's like like
that's true. It's a representation.
Yeah, but it just makes me laugh because all that shit was always metaphorical. But now you go to the New Prince of Tennis, and that shit is literally happening.
It's literally
hit a Jesus serve, bro. That ball was glistening, shining, dipped in butter. He served that shit, and it like broke the water tower. I said, bro. Huh?
Oh yeah, the glowing shot, the shot that actually breaks brick walls and water towers and all that shit.
My favorite line that Boyoden said. That's actually it's a trash line, but it's funny. I like because it's funny. It's I can't remember the name of the dude. Toki whatever the
Tokugawa.
Yeah, right, him, right, and he's like, you're finally ready to risk your life to win a tennis match. You have entered the realm of the heavenly Buddha. I said, shut the fuck up talking to me right now.
The only reason I keep reading that, only reason is because I'm waiting. I want to see either, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the captain or the prince. Somebody has to kick his ass, and I think it's going to be Tezuka. I think he's working for Germany now.
Yep.
He makes everybody look like trash. He fucking didn't sweat beating a Toby. He's like, I'm going to beat your ass, man. So I'm like, he's got to do it.
You know what's crazy? He was in the pinnacle of perfection against his captain in Germany, and he got washed.
Yeah.
I said, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Volk is stupid.
But even when Kintaro went into his pinnacle perfection against Oni, and Oni did it too, I said, bro, Oni's actually busted because he's the only person that actually beat Byoden, and Byoden went around the world and came back, and then he was a monster.
Yeah, but there's only 4 people. But see, the problem I have is I don't like the fact that the pinnacle of perfection is, I don't know, like. The problem with the second series is you're not supposed to go beyond that. Like we saw that in the end match, right? Like how is anybody actually going to beat Ryoma? He's got the pinnacle of perfection. It literally was too fast for the child of God to fucking see.
But now it's not nearly as broken.
That's the thing. They nerfed it, but by nerfing it, it makes the ending of the original Prince of Tennis look shitty. Or shittier by comparison.
It'd be like
now we're looking at it like, you know.
That's just like Star Wars.
So why we don't acknowledge it.
Yeah, that's why we don't acknowledge it.
Nope, it doesn't exist.
I don't know, man. Pirates of the Caribbean kind of raw. But yeah, man, Prison Tennis has always been a great time. I tried to think of some other matches I really liked. There was a one match with Kikumaru. I think he faced a guy with the Viking horn, his singles match, and that was a good one. That was a good match. I like that one.
That was a really good match.
You know what match that I really like? It was pretty much close to the beginning of Prince Tennis, but it was when Ryoma was playing Kawamura's friend Akutsu. Bro, this nigga Akutsu was one of the biggest dickheads I have ever seen.
He served rocks at people.
He was rocks like this man. I can't remember what happened exactly, but like Ryoma was minding his own business, and then like I think he knocked over a whole bunch of tennis balls around him for like no reason at all, and then he just started laughing and cackling and stuff like that. And then when it was playing the game, like he kept trying to intimidate him. I was like, bro, what is your problem? like, are you trying to bully him just because he's a kid? Like, what are you doing? And then Ryoma was like, the soundtrack kicked in and he washed him. I was like, oh shit.
He don't wash him, but he beat him.
Didn't wash.
I think the set ended 6-4. It wasn't a wash.
Well, I'm only saying he washed because he was at a
I got you. Because that's what I think. I can't remember if that's the first time we seen the Samurai Vision. I can't remember if that was the first time somebody saw like him playing and they saw the vision.
Oh yeah, the vision of the samurai.
Yeah. But Ryoma kind of busted though. Cool. And after he tricked him and using drive, BJ used like drive something and he hit him in the face and he started laughing.
Yeah.
Kozo!
Oh, you know what was a really good match was the one I don't know how to say his name. The one who uses the pinnacle of wisdom.
Chitose?
Versus Suzuka. And when he uses both, and he's like, oh, I thought like our fucking Rookie of the West was the fucking one closest to the pinnacle of perfection. It's like, this man is fucking godly. You know? He was just like, nope, none of us can beat him. This dude's got two.
One of my favorite things in that series too is Atobi's intro to every match, when the whole crowd's going Hyote.
The winner will be Atobi.
Then he'll like conduct and they go like Shaka no Atobe Hyakuna no Hyote. He'll snap his fingers and he just goes the winner will be Orida.
I loved it when he was going up against Ryoma and he stopped. Once he did that, Ryoma snapped his fingers. It was like the winner will be me. I was like, this fucking kid got some fucking attitude. Oh man, yeah, he's got some balls. I think that's why Prince of Tennis is more successful than a lot of sports manga, is that it has a cast of characters that even if some of it can get ridiculous, they have so many characters that you're just like, okay, I love this dude. Okay, I love that dude. Okay, I love that dude. Like there's such a great cast of characters that you're just like everything about them is like...
they had a really good cast because like Seigaku is probably one of the only. No, that's not true. But I like that. I like them a lot. But the only one on that team I really didn't like that much was Inui. I did not give a fuck about Data Tennis ever in my life. Not once.
No, Data Tennis or Renji. The three kings of...
76% chance he goes for a approach and like, bitch, if you don't just play some fucking tennis with your instincts, I'm so fucking tired.
Would you please play some fucking tennis?
Yeah, but yeah, we'll stay on this all day if we just sit here.
That's true.
But
Prince of Tennis stream.
That. Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
2020.
It's a lot.
2020.
We do need to do that. We need to go through it again. So we can
2020. No, I see. That's a series I visited a lot, so I remember it really clearly. So like, but I won't read it again.
Revisit.
Trust you. You understand, bro? We're not when oh my goodness, is the cameo the speed guy? I liked his. He had a lot of good matches that I actually liked. I think he has underrated matches. He was really dope from Fidomine.
He does, yeah. But the one that sucked was Shinji or whatever his name was. That was like, oh man, I am totally, because I can use the twist serve too. Ryoma plays with him. He washes that dude. Like no problem. You think that's going to be the highlight of the match? That arc or that part of that match that ended on a low note, like in that way, because like we had nail biter matches, like you were saying before, and then Ryoma, like we think, okay, this guy who's been hyped up as the silent, like, oh, he's kind of evil sort of idea. Fucking Ryoma washes him. Like,
well, that's part of that's like the first thing I said, where you never know how much is gonna go. Because I remember Atobi actually beat Tezuka, and it's like, oh my god, this as random match, and it basically against Atobi with the Geku Gojo guy. I can't remember his name. With the like bowl cut, he has like the weird tennis pose because he uses martial arts into his tennis.
Yeah,
And that was the guy who Atobi was rumored to be the next captain. And then after you have Ryoma, and Ryoma beat the brakes off that nigga.
Oh yeah, he beat the living shit out of him.
He beat the brakes off. It wasn't even close. And Atobi was like, "What is going on?" Like, I put in all this work to beat Tezuka, and they had this nigga in the woodworks. He was sick.
Yeah, and I love that Ryoma just keeps calling him, "Hey, Monkey King." Just keeps calling him like he's a monkey.
Because remember, Hyote ended up getting knocked out to the point they weren't supposed to advance, but I think they got some wild card, and that's how they ended up being able to continue, because they lost so early to thing because of what happened. So it was like this renowned school, and even I remember there was that one guy who lost in tennis match early, and he got kicked off the team, and he cut his hair, and he put in work, and he got back on. Like, bro, there was a lot of shit in that series. Oh, like, remove that, Lizard, remove that. I'll send this forever. Lizard, where's he
Moving on.
Yeah.
Pick a series, bitch.
What series have been said already? Just Prince of Tennis, or I've seen Prince of Tennis, Ping Pong. Anything else?
Nope.
No, that was it. We've been on that for a long time.
Let's talk
That's why I didn't
about.
want to say it.
Let's talk about the Go sports series, Diamond Waves.
Let's go!
Mute for y'all. I got y'all.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's get it. Lizards, fire it up.
I think this is like, I love this series. Just like this, like think like how they like the. I think like Pat mentioned it before about like the practice, like seeing how they practice, how hard they practice, seeing how much work they put in, and then like seeing like the effort, and also I like how the mangaka or like the end, like the series shows like the other side, like the opponents. We get to see. Sometimes we'll see a flashback or like or see like what the opponent's thinking, so we can feel bad for them. So it's like even more like the competition is even more intense. Like the series has a good way of balancing. Like it makes it so that even though we want to cheer for we're willing to cheer for the good guy, like or not the good guys, like our team, like the main cast. We still feel like some maybe we'll still want to root for the other team. Like I think it does that really well. And if anybody wants to add anything.
I don't know. I won't shut up, but I'll go now. This why I'll talk forever. So like, listen, the thing that ended up hooking me into Dino Ace immediately was Sawamura. First of all, he's a great lead. And
Absolutely.
I like the circumstances of his recruitment to Sato, because he was kind of like the big fish in the pond that doesn't know about the sea, because he's kind of unorthodox and he was so good, but like his team was so ass. But when he got thrust into the heart and pinnacle of high school baseball in Japan, he learned that he had so much to learn despite how talented he was. And I feel like a lot of sports manga, like we just first talk about it, but even though I don't think Ryomas is that too bad, I like him. I think a lot of sports series suffer from an unstoppable kind of main character. I think of like Kagami, Taiga, Ryoma, but like in Prince of Tennis and Ace of Diamond, the reality of there's always someone better is quickly made apparent. And even with like vigorous amounts of effort and training that you put in, everyone has things they specialize in and certain things they are not good at. But you might have an all-rounder, jack of all trades, but master of none. And you can either strengthen what you're good at or attempt to fix what you aren't good at. And I love that fact of it, because like as good as he's gotten, he's only kind of recently now starting to hit that like, the ace, whatever. And I won't get into it too much, but he's always been a valued member of his team. There's never give up attitude, positive vibes, but he's never to me been like broken, stupid, busted, where he just comes and wins every match by himself when he leaves. He's stupid, unrefined. His upperclassmen never failed to literally beat that into him everyone when they get a chance to. But this to me was at the time, like when I first got into it, it was refreshing to see a sports series that does away with the ridiculous powers, unstoppable main character with a well-grounded series and a relatable protagonist. That's what I loved about it.
Also to add like another thing, and this is like it's kind of it's a slight spoiler, but I like how they went into the second year, because like that's kind of like it's like you don't really see that in sports. It's just like the first year we have like, I mean, it makes sense. You have the third years, your final year, you have the first years. It's just like the perfect thing. But like I like that they went into the second year after the first year, because you rarely see that in sports series. It's a nice thing.
Well, for me, right, I think the thing that I like the most about this series is that it sets itself apart from other sports anime, and the fact that they have two main leads, not just one, in Sawamura
Furia no
and
Ace.
Miyuki. No, not Furia.
Oh.
Miyuki.
Miyuki. Fair
The
enough.
story gets told from Miyuki's point of view from the moment that Sawamura joins Sato. And I don't feel like most sports series do this, but they actually had the backstory from Miyuki in the second season. They show how he got recruited to Sato, his relationship with Chris, and how he looked up to him, and how he wanted to beat him and get his spot as the catcher on the main team. But Chris got hurt, so he never really had the chance. Yeah, exactly. So he never had the chance to surpass the person that he really admired. And leading into the end of the first season, you see that Miyuki is actually closely entwined with Narumiya, the main antagonist for Diamond No Ace, because in order for Sato to get to National, eventually they're going to have to face Inashiro and beat them. And in the first season, they play them, and it's one of the best matches I've ever seen. And you get the history between Narumiya and Miyuki. And literally right before Narumiya went to go to Inashiro, he recruited the top baseball players in like Little League or whatever, and he wanted Miyuki to come be his catcher. And Miyuki turned him down. And why he turned him down? Because he said, y'all got a team of all these stacked players, and that makes me want to beat you guys. And I was like, yo, this man is certified. He don't want to be on a stacked team. He want to beat the stacked team.
He's not joining the Warriors. He beat the Warriors.
Beating the Warriors. That's elite mentality right there. And they came inches away when they first played them, and they didn't get it done. And that was the moment where it became the best sports series to me, because I saw how hard they worked from the off season when they was practicing to when they had two-a-days to when they were going through the tournament. You know, they had the injuries to Tamba. They had to rely on first years, so the third years were playing extra hard to make sure that the first year didn't have that much responsibility. But their last chance, and when they got on the bus, everybody was sad. I was like, damn. And the moment that broke me, when this man Yuki was crying, bro, I was like, nah, bro, not my captain, not my goat, no.
When they sing, when they sing every time he bats, I get hyped. But the piggyback off that, like at the time, it was the first thing I ever really watched. I didn't rush into official matches, but it took time with tryouts and several chapters of teams just practicing. And to me, I like to come like, yo, this really captures the true essence and nature of playing sports on like a truly competitive team, because there's rivalries, companionship, and competitiveness, because not everyone can play every single day. So each player goes out and does their very best in order to receive recognition from the coach to get their chance to prove what they can do on the actual mound or field or whatever the case. So the training sessions are engaging, they're hilarious, and they focus on team chemistry building, but at the same time, they're still kind of competing for play time. So like the actual balance of there, to me, I'm like, bro, this reminded me of like the teams I was on, where it's like, if you were like a defender that came off the bench and you put in work for like a couple weeks in practice, you might start. and replace somebody who's not putting in the work. And I like that. I like that. That's sick. Like that's really how it is though. When you play on a competitive team. So just
and
go ahead.
nah, I'm just gonna and another part. Not only the fact that they have two main characters, the main rival for Sawamura, Furuya. This man is in the same year as Sawamura.
Monster rookie.
He is the complete opposite of a pitcher. Like Sawamura, he was blessed with a very flexible body, and he has an unorthodox pitching style. And what sets him apart as a pitcher is his mentality. He's not scared to throw it down the middle or do whatever pitch that Miyuki asks for. So that's his biggest strength. Like when the game gets tough, he get better. That's what makes him a reliable pitcher. But with Furia is the stereotypical type of pitcher that you would want to take. He might not be that mentally tough, but his pitch is so damn fast, it don't matter. Who?
He's throwing balls, and the ball's so alive that niggas are swinging at that shit, bro. They get so shook to like, what the fuck is a ball roaring at me, and they just instinctively swing and they fucking miss.
This man is 16 years old, throwing 90 miles per hour fast in high school.
Monster. Monster.
Like, yeah, he got some issues with his control or whatever, but like when he throws the pitches, he shuts batters down. And I love that there's such a stark contrast between him and Sawamura. Sawamura is loud, energetic, always says what comes to his mind. I love that. But Furia's quiet. He's reserved. He only speaks when he needs to. But at the same time, they still have the same burning passion for the sport.
Yeah,
they want to do the
aura.
best.
His aura speaks for itself.
Bro, this man be going KO Canada. No one's known.
Kyle-Kan.
But even that too, right? The one thing I really love about the series too, like this one thing, it captures this reality that I love, where it's like, no matter the player, no matter how talented and filled with potential they are, and how amazingly they can play every game, they're just outside life factors that may affect your in-game psyche, or you just have an off day, right? And the opposite is also true. You can be like mediocre or bad and have an on day. Some days you're on fire, you feel like you can't be stopped, and some days you're opposite, vice versa. Excuse me, and I can't express how perfectly like this series captured that idea. Like one of the characters, the monster, Furia, could be on fire one game, but he can have one really bad inning, and maybe the bases are loaded now, and now they're in his head. The psychological aspect of the sports is well represented here, because now the pressure, the expectation of the weight of wearing the ace number and being on the mound could start to get to you. Like you just throw a pitch and someone hit a home run, now you're in a pitching slump for a first game until you can get over that psychological hurdle. Remember when Haruchi's older brother, who had his injured ankle, plays through the pain? Like, it just captures so many things about real sports, and I'm like, bro, it's like this in real life. Like you don't just wake up every single day, drop the inefficient 30, 10, and 10, and win every game. It doesn't work like that. And this game, as good as Furia is, he has terrible games, okay games, good games. Like the whole spectrum. As much as a monster as he is, and I'm like, bro, there's not many sports series that I feel they actually capture that essence.
And like one of the few things I want to touch upon with Furia, not only does he like stay inconsistent, but at the same time, when he goes up against a pitcher that's like on his level or better than him, this man raises his game. It's the one thing that's stopping Sawamura from overtaking him. Like Sawamura, he is very, very consistent, and you know pretty much what you're going to get out of him day to day. But with Furia, his best is at such an unbelievable level that you can't just give Sawamura the crown right away. Like when they played Hongo's team, Komadai Fujimaki, right?
Yep.
When
him and Hongo went at it.
Bro, first First inning, Furia gives up a hit. I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
Fact.
Like I was like, here we go. He gonna play bad. But then the next inning, when he saw Hongo pitch, he was like, nah.
150 plus kilometers an hour fastball, bro.
Bro, I was watching the game. This man Hongo was like, what y'all know about baseball? Y'all ever seen a coach throw a little white ball in a
In the
snowy
snow?
field?
Yo, you guys, yo, nigga.
Have y'all ever seen a team that was possessed by baseball? We didn't come here to play baseball for fun. We came to take the championship banner.
Nah, hold on. I gotta show the gif. I gotta find it. Yeah, yo.
When I saw that, I was like, oh no, this man is for real.
He's
He
different.
was throwing 95 miles per hour fastballs. And Furia saw that, he was like, you know what? My coach told me I could be the best pitcher in Japan. I could do that too. And this man was mashing him for the whole game. The only difference was that first inning. That was it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Hongo's a monster.
Bro, this man, when they won the Winter Cup, the coach punished. He said, you guys are getting too full of yourselves because y'all won the winter championship. Y'all thought y'all was somebody.
Y'all thought you were hot shit, huh? Y'all ain't shit. Keeps them humble, bro.
Practice, but with no ball. Like, what? This is baseball. Oh, man.
So many dope, different kinds of pitchers. I can't remember the guy's name, but the one who he looks at the pitching strike zone from a like 3-dimensional. Yes.
Oh yeah.
From a 3-dimensional viewpoint, and I'm like, bro, he's different. And there's that one guy from China. He's different. I'm like
clockwork.
Oh my goodness! Don't even start me. Don't start me. Well, definitely Prince of Tennis and Dino Ace. We gonna give it its own stream, 100%. We gonna get it its own stream and go into it. But Vince, go ahead. I know you're going to. What you want to talk about? Is he here?
He muted.
Oh, he's muted. So all right. For that, so Nelly, you go then.
Nope.
Oh, he's
I'm
here.
All right. So I picked a completely different series because we always talk about kind of the same series. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the right agenda pushing thing, and I'm gonna pick another series. All right. So series I picked, Karate Shokeshi. Series I picked.
You said karate what?
Hold on. Cause I always have a problem.
I only heard karate. But I think what you were gonna say. I never got that far in that series. So
Karate Shokoshu.
There we go.
Now I will say that manga is 500 chapters. It's a shit ton. It's a lot. But
the college one, he's in college and shit.
Yes, the college.
I read about 100, and then it's been like years.
I understand, but I liked it because it's in college. That's always a plus for me. 100%. And it really shows like the growth from 0 all the way to 100. Like from the very bottom, like his whole motivation, why he gets into it, like his growth, his love for the sport grow. Why he
don't you like Holy Land? Huh?
No, I do not. We're not gonna do this. I mean, I like Holy Land is fine. Like, I had this discussion with Pat. Holy Land is fine. It has strength. It was just a bit much for me. I wouldn't call it edgy. I just think it was kind of fake woke at certain parts. Like, I belong here. This is my Holy Land. Like, okay, bro. But that's just me personally.
Okay.
It was just a bit much for me. And then, like I said, him learning how to punch from a book with pinpoint accuracy pisses me off personally because I did martial arts for 10 years.
So you can't read.
I was like, anyway. so this man knocking people out and doing push-ups and doing that. Nah, you just don't cut it
Well,
for
yeah,
me.
talk about your karate no nigga shojo.
Yeah, gotcha.
Dude, if
But
that pisses you off, you must hate Saitama.
no, not really, because I know what that is.
The guy character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he not real. So, but anyway,
He got a high top fade coin.
I love Karate Showcase. It's a bit long, so if you got to prepare for a long ride, it's a lot of downtime and filler. Well, not really filler, but it's a lot of. It's mangas don't really have.
I can't
There's a
read
lot
it.
of anyway. But I love the cast. I love the fights because the fights are like kind of really technical, and it's like it really gets down to like the nitty gritty of stuff. Something similar, if you've read that, is all rounder Megaru.
Hey.
So if you like that, you'll probably like this too. And it's a really nice story that builds up. I don't want to spoil too much, but you'll probably like the majority of the cast. They have like, and if you like Ippo's kind of like that too, because the main character.
I wish I could chime in. I know I just don't remember shit from what I read.
I understand. It really it was made a while back, and not that many people have read it, and it's super long. But I think if you give it a chance, you might really like it. And it's like I won't say it won't be one of the sports, but you'll probably give it like an 8 out of 10. That's what push.
Has anyone else here read it or no?
No, I thought at first it was that one with Muto or whatever, the gorilla, but well, they call him the Gorilla Man or whatever, that karate one, because that's like 500 something chapters, but no.
All right, Nelly. You get
So you
pick a series.
just bringing up a series. I guess
That's Dan.
I just want to talk about Hanouts since here he can push the agenda, the Hanouts agenda.
Okay.
One out. Hey.
Yeah, so it's like I didn't think with Hanouts like the manager, I didn't know he'd be the antagonist, like in a way, because that dude he had like ops on the team that like wouldn't do what like would purposely make him lose, and then like I came into the series so like I just didn't expect what I was getting, and I was like, dang, but like the matches, I like how like the matches had like they kind of had to go through different trials. So like the first one, I won't say the first one, but the first main one I remember is when they had that black dude that like he was extremely fast, and then like they did like the world championship, and you like even though he was in second place, like if you look at how the race went, he was ahead like during the halfway mark, but he eventually slowed down. He couldn't keep up that. So the opposing team manager saw that, recruited him on the team, and made him like a base runner. So like his speed would be like unmatched on bases, and then like they had all this super intricate plan on like how they're gonna like make him wear down like overwork him, repeatedly. So he won't be as fast, and then just like passable, and then like break his spirit, and like that whole trying to stop him in that way was so dope. And then what made it even, I won't say funnier because it is kind of like a sad moment, but like right after, like that same team plays that team that fouls too much, and then just broke his leg, and then he was just out the season, and I was like, duh, there's just no way, cause like. Our team just spent like how many chapters trying to stop this dude, and then the other guy just fouls him, and then he's out for the season. Like, so this series be moving weird. But I remember they had this one match too where they just rigged the stadium. Like the whole stadium was rigged. Yes, so like they had recordings everywhere. Like they did know all your signs, all that, and then the dude just purposely lied on the signs, and then like. So like he had the sign for like fast ball, and then like not do it, and then like the opposing members like they know that it would be a smart like he will most likely do like X ball here, but like the sign said the opposite, and they just trusted the sign more than themselves, and then just ended up destroying their own team. I'm just like y'all some as well. We have one out. Like if have not keep it yet, y'all should definitely check it out. Be great. The matches.
I'm waiting for the Vince soliloquy.
To what?
The monologue.
Since Vince not talking, I'm gonna just speak in front of him.
Yeah, like I thought Vince would be.
I'll try to let y'all talk because if I start talking, this stream gonna go another 2 hours. If I start talking about one
That's
hour,
what he thinks. You think I'm gonna hit that? You think I'm gonna hit that? I'll hit that end button and let you talk and just not stream.
y'all still gonna be here and call listening to me praise 1 hour. But go ahead, Pat.
Sleep.
Well, for 1 out, Nelly pretty much touched upon almost everything. But the thing that I loved the most about it was how psychological this series was. Like, it didn't really put that much of an emphasis on like the physical aspect of the game, like when it comes to making plays, double plays, and like the types of pitches and stuff like that. Because Toa was not a pitcher on a professional level. He only had one type of pitch that he could throw, but he knew how to manipulate the other team and like the batters in the batter's box in a way so that it didn't matter that he could only throw one type of special pitch. They wasn't going to beat him regardless.
Wasn't he spreading rumors?
Really...
I keep going my phone.
Oh no! I'll just say it wasn't really the other teams that he was more concerned with taking down. It was the fact that he had constant bets with the manager.
Yeah.
Like winning was a bad thing for the team, for the manager, because he was losing on hella cash.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. Like, the manager did not want them to win. But Toe was like, nah, I'm going to cash in on these bets. You messed up.
And to touch on what you're saying too, is like with how he was playing them, like I just love how he just lied to everyone that he can lip read, and they're just like, yeah, that guy's catcher. He said that other dude some ass, and the other dude was like, wait, you said that? And then they were just started beefing. I'm like, dog, he's lying to yours. And every interview, he'll just make it worse. Like, bro, that man's a menace.
Bro, he had everything on the ring.
Oh man. Listen. All right, here we go. All right. First of all, this man Tokichi Toa, one of the greatest leaders of modern sports, anime, anything, period. This man had quotables for days. Leadership, 10 out of 10. That's cap. Put down the shield. Anyway, like I was saying, my man Tokichi Toa, he was teaching them everything. That man was teaching them about respect. He told old dude from the Mariners, he was like, to take responsibility is to take the pain onto yourself. It means to bear more pain than what others felt because of your mistake. That's leadership. He knew everything. He told old dude that gave up on his dream. He was like, just because it's a low possibility, don't mean that it's zero. That man knew how to motivate his teammates. That's one of the things I love about the series the much. Besides all the psychological nature and all stuff, it still stayed true to the essence of sports. You need a team to win. It's a team sport. As good as he was, he can't do anything if the rest of his teammates don't pull their weight. And he knew how to motivate them and get them to do exactly what he needed them to do. He was the ultimate leader. Especially once you get towards the end. I don't want to spoil that, but once you get to the end, it all wraps together perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly.
And my favorite part, one of my favorite parts, is when he said, he's like, what's the point of looking towards the past? He's like, if past data dictates how like the match is gonna go, there's no point of even playing.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I like about like the NFL and kind of like one elimination things, because it's unpredictable. Like, the best team doesn't always win. You got to show up and you got to play and you got to win. Like, you could beat anybody on any given day. And basketball is a lot harder because you got to win 4 out of 7. So normally the best teams do usually win, not always. But the point is, it's just like, you can't defeat yourself before you even play. You start looking at stats, you start thinking about how good guys play, but every guy got weaknesses. Just because somebody does this thing doesn't mean that they do it all the time. It doesn't mean they don't have weaknesses. and you can exploit that. You can put yourself in a position to win, and that was his whole entire thing. That's what I love about this so much. I felt like he captured my whole mindset and what I look at in sports in general. Because he just like, yeah, because he just like, you got to do stuff, and he's like, when you're winning, you got to do any means necessary. He's like, okay, they're cheating, so what? We got to beat them anyway. Okay, they got better players, so what? We got to beat them anyway. And he's like, winning is not a nice thing. If you really want to beat somebody, you got to trample over them.
Yo,
nice people,
talk to
you
him.
Can't. Nice people don't win. Like, think of some of the best players for any sport. Kobe, asshole. Michael Jordan, asshole.
LeBron's pretty nice. I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure he's not nice on. I'm pretty sure he's not nice on the court. LeBron he's just not a trash talker. He speak with his play.
The thing,
passive aggressiveness.
The only thing I'll say about LeBron is a lot of people still talk a lot of shit about him despite what he did. Like the KG just say that they broke him. Like that was cap, but
KG.
But they don't have a lot of times they don't have respect for him because he's like, I don't know, because he's nice or whatever. But anywho, continue. Sorry.
Well, the way they see it is that he left his team and he had to go.
I don't want to hear that from KG in Minnesota. He was talking shit.
I know. Yeah, I don't want to hear that from him.
I don't want to hear that from him. Like, he's like, stop it.
Let's
stop it.
But you do have to say. But you do have to say he didn't get asked to trade to the Celtics. But anyway, that's a different discussion. But yeah, true. I still don't want to hear that from him. But it's just like they don't respect guys like that. They, especially old school players, they want guys to win on 1-on-1. But I don't necessarily blame them either. It's more the fans of LeBron. I don't. But anyway, you win it how you win, and that's no excuse for the other guy. There was chances for LeBron to lose in the East. The Celtics could have beat him. All Georgia's Pacers should have beat him one time, and they got close the second time.
Shout out Roy Hibbert.
There were chances for them to win. But it's just like Pat said, nobody remembers second place. You got to take advantage of that. You got to win. You got to do whatever's necessary.
I'm gonna reiterate that again. No one gives a fuck about second place. Please put that in y'all heads if y'all listening to this stream. No one cares.
But he went to 9 straight. All right.
The only time that matters if he would have won 7 out of 9.
There you go.
He loses 2. Who cares? If he gets past 6th string, okay, then it don't matter. He got past it. At the end of the day, that's what we care about.
I will talk about mine, and then Pat, you go, and then we'll call it a stream. So I'm gonna go with Night in the Arena, Eri no Kishi. I brought it up a little bit earlier. That's the soccer one. Now, like I said, I still haven't found the soccer manga. I think this one and Giant Killing have intrigued me the most. But the thing about this series, I think what makes it start off so strong, but like part of the reason why I didn't even get as far as I like finishing it was because I know it was done for a while, I think, but it did the thing where it's like it's done in Japan, but no one's scanning it, and then you know what I'm saying. But it just has one of the most it had to me the most gripping premise for a sports series to this day. Doesn't mean it's gonna be the best or is the best, but in terms of the draw, it was the best. So that I think Kakeru's a little brother. I think he's just like a manager or water boy or whatever or some team. His older brother Suguru is like nice at soccer, and he's on the national Japanese team. And if I can't remember exactly what happens, but they both end up in a huge accident. And the little brother is envious of the big brother. But because he thinks he's so good, he's like, I don't even want to play because like my brother's gonna overshadow me. But he has hidden talent as a striker that his brother thinks that if he can unleash that hidden potential, that latent talent, and become the striker on the Japanese national team, because the older brother's like he's a midfielder, like a distributor. He's like, if my little brother could fulfill his potential and become a striker on the national team, we will never lose. I will feed him the ball and he'll score every time. But basically, tragedy strikes, and they're both dying, and the bigger brother gives his heart to the younger brother.
Dang.
So he's dead. Gone. And I was like, damn. And it's like, Japan... The Japanese soccer world takes that as a big loss. And now he has to kind of carry that burden of he's obviously not as initially latently talented as his brother. but he still has some skill. But he has to work way harder to get to the level as he was. And then he ends up meeting up one of his older friends, like a girl he likes, because she's already on the national team for Japan too, on the girls' team. They call her the Little Witch. So it's like he's behind everybody, and he has to just put in this work to get to that level, to get to that thing. But it's such a good, interesting premise to get me to get invested in the story. I don't know if it lives up. It's been a while since I read it. I know I finished the anime, but bro, there's a one guy in the team. Oh, what's his name? Araki. I love him. He's nice. He used to play with the older brother on the Japanese team. He's like a midfielder too. And when you first see this guy, you're like, oh, yeah, he was our best player. You see him, he is fat. He is fat as shit, but he's nice. He's nice. His control, his touch, crazy. And they're like, okay, you're not about to play on this team, and you fat as hell. A week goes by. This nigga D, he's fucking brawling. He's not. He comes to the pitch, but he has no stamina right now because he's not used, because he hasn't been working out like that. Like, yeah, he got skinny, but his stamina ass. But he's sick. Like, he's sick. So those two are basically trying to carry that team to like the promised land and shit. And I fuck with the series, but I'm gonna revisit it still, cause it's been a while. But damn. That shit had a really gripping initial concept to like get you into the rest of the story. All right, Pat, end us off.
End it off?
Yeah. What series are we ending off with?
We're gonna end this shit off with Kaji no Ippo. We already talked that much about Slam Dunk. Nobody really talked about Ippo that
Help
much.
the bear.
We gonna talk about Ippo. So the thing with Ippo that I really like is the fact that this man Ippo really grew up. Like, as a child, he pretty much didn't have his dad because his dad died. So he was helping his mother, fulfilling his responsibilities as the man of the house. So like he always had that inner dog in him, but he was timid because, like I said, he didn't have no father. So it gets to a point where he's getting bullied, and Takamura's doing his road work. He come across him, this man getting bullied, save him. And then Takamura's the kind of person where he just did it because he felt like it. He didn't do it out of the goodness of his heart, He just didn't like seeing the fact that somebody was getting bullied. And Ippo, can I be like you? And Takamura's like, fuck? Like, he felt disrespected. He was like, bro, you cannot be like me. Like, what are you talking about? And Ippo's like adamant because he wants to be a different person. And he's like, you know what? He hit the tree, and he was like, if you can catch all these, you catch at least, 5 leaves before it hit the ground?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was like, if you catch the leaves before it hit the ground and show it to me, then I'll think about it. This man worked. He worked at it constantly all day, and then he finally accomplished it. Went to the gym, left a fucking fist on the punching bag, and that's what Coach Kamagawa was like, yo, I might just have found the gym. And we progressed with the story and see Ippo go from this timid little boy to one of the most fearsome featherweights in the entire world. And it's like, from Ippo's perspective, he is the epitome of hard work. But on the other hand, with Takamura, you have when talent meets hard work. And I love that part about it, because Takamura knows that he's not a good person, but he don't care. But at the same time,
he's a winner. That's all that matters.
He's a winner. He's not going to let himself lose. He's not going to let himself lose because, first and foremost, for him, he's always number one. That's what he cares about the most.
Yeah.
But he also knows that the other people at the gym, the only reason that they're going as hard as they go is because they know that even though they might fuck up and lose from time to time, Takamura's never going to lose. And that gives them the motivation they need to keep coming to the gym. But literally in the fight with Brian Hawk. That was the first time where Takamura was thinking about people other than himself. Like he was on the verge of losing. He thought to himself, I can't lose here, bro, because I got other people watching me that expect me to win all the time. And I got to make history. He was not only fighting for himself, he was fighting for the people at the gym, and he was fighting for Date, who had just got destroyed by Ricardo Martinez. Like, oh my gosh, that fight was just, ooh, that shit was ugly. That shit was ugly. He was literally fighting for other people and pretty much the entire country of Japan when he fought that heavyweight title match. And he won. And he came out on top. And then you just keep watching Ippo and they progress and you see Ippo is trying to be the best that he can be and Takamura is trying to be the best in the world. And I just really love that dynamic about that series.
Love to see it. Anyone want to chime in on Ippo? Everyone quiet. Everyone's tired. Everyone's late. It's late.
Tired.
Everyone's on low. Everyone's on low
late,
power mode still.
Takaro, my goat. Fuck Brian Hawk. We move. Let's go.
Fuck Brian Hawk. Oh my god.
And shout out the coaches flashback, bro. They were in what?
I appreciate how when each fight is happening, they build up the story and characterization for each character, how they got to that point, their motivations for getting to that point and wanting to win. So it almost feels like, you know, you want to kind of root for both sometimes. Obviously, it's not always the story you want to root for, but it's like the fact that they build up the fight from the side of like the challenger or whatever the case. I always found that aspect to be really good because I always wondered to myself, this is not an adventure. It's not an adventure story. Yada yada. I'm like, why the fuck this shit so long? Then I'm like, okay.
Oh, he said it's only halfway. I'm like, dog. Like you spent 30 years in the series. Like
he said
how
that
long
recently.
Live? Like, yeah, it was like that was when our lives was like kind of spazzing over. When it was like I think we're at like 1.2K. He said, yeah, I wrote about half. I'm like half, like. You spent 30 years of your life writing this. Like,
you gotta at least end that and hit us with like a Ippo Shippuden or Ippo Z or something, bro. You gotta at least do that. You gotta at least do that. But I love the build up to every fight. That's actually the part that ended up investing me as far as I've gotten. I'm not too far. I'm probably in the at this point, I don't know, somewhere in the 600 something like that. But yeah.
To emphasize your point too, is like that Borg and Sendo. Like I just didn't know who I wanted to win. I'm like, Borg needs this dub or he's deported. But Sendo's my nigga. So I'm just like, dog. Like they were really gonna deport Borg for losing. So I'm like, dog, my boy can't lose here. But can't let Sendo take L. So I was like, nah.
And speaking on the build up, when Takamura was building up to that first heavyweight title fight, you can see how hard it was for him to fight at a weight class that wasn't his natural weight class. This man was literally starving himself so that he wouldn't put on any extra unnecessary. And not only that, he was running miles on an empty stomach day after day after day. It got to a point where he couldn't even sweat anymore. He had no fluids in him.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. But yo, Ippo might have to get his own as well, to be honest.
Hey, bro, I'm not even caught up.
But yeah, that's the thing. I'm literally like about halfway through, so I'm gonna get there by the end of the year. This year I'll try to read more manga. I promise. I will try. But with that being said, if anyone doesn't have anything to chime in, I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm tired. Excuse me.
I'm gonna just say another aspect I really loved is how they kind of focus on so many different parts of the world. You know, like I forgot who the outboxer rival. He'd be in the Pacific.
By the way, Frog Punch go.
Yeah, Frog Punch. Yes, and then they'd be in Mexico, like
crowds.
Tendo.
That shit was the funniest thing I have ever
I'm
seen.
sorry, that shit was so funny. Sorry, Nelly, keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh yeah. So like the outboxer, like he was in the Pacific Orient, with his belt, doing his thing. Sendo put up to started beating on Mexican. Like Borg put up to I think America, was doing his thing there. They mentioned, like of course the Japan scene. Like they focus on a lot of different, scenes in the world, and it's good that it's not just Japan centric. Like
Mm-hmm.
we actually get to see like a lot of different, races and people and culture and aspects and stuff like that of this. Shout out to
One thing I'm gonna say, Ricardo Martinez is never gonna get beat. No one's gonna beat
bro.
him.
He has frame one jazz, bro. Like no one's beating this.
Nobody is going to beat. Epo started going into his Dempsey role, and he just kept jacking him up the whole time.
Bro,
He stopped because he didn't want to knock him out.
Yeah, he said no. Stop.
All right. But anyway, it's bedtime. Thank everyone for coming. Thank you guys for all joining me. Everyone in the chat, everyone who watched, everyone who will watch. I appreciate it. This was the last one. This is the 5th video. You guys asked. I asked you guys what you wanted to see be streamed or covered in December. You listed 15 series. You voted. These were the 5. This was the last one we had left. Saved the best one for last. Sports stream, you already know.
Sir.
Talked about some greatness, some Prince of Tennis, some Epo,
Yeah.
Dino Ace,
Yeah.
Outs, Kuroko, Slam Dunk, Haikyuu, you name it. Check out Windbreaker for a webtoon about biking. If you like the Yamoshi pedal, maybe. I think this one's better. Definitely read Tepu. Share fire. We didn't talk about the other one, the Rikobo, whatever. I mean, we talk about that one, but that's another one that's pretty good. Other people like that one. I haven't gotten too far in it. I actually have not really checked out that sumo one in Jump. I think it's called. I think it's a Jump. Is it in Jump?
Aruzumo?
Yeah, I think so.
I heard it was good.
I haven't checked that one out, but try that. Try Ice Shield.
The GOAT!
Try a lot of them. Try sports, manga, anime. They hit. Give
Read
it a
them all.
shot. Look to your left. Look to your right.